schedule from Kyle Cousineau.
And that stretches San Francisco, Miami, Thanksgiving, at Detroit on Thursday night, at Seattle on Sunday night, and then verse at home against New Orleans Monday Night Football. It's a primetime fix.
Four straight prime time, and the only prime time games on the schedule.
Yeah.
That's
as
absurd.
of right now.
Now, does week 1 count as a primetime game? Because it's
I guess,
standalone
yes.
on a Friday night.
I guess that would technically also be a primetime.
That's probably how they're getting around not fully maxing out the 6 primetime games by having games. And I mean, they're hoping Minnesota or Chicago in 17-18 are games that they can flex into a primetime position.
Oh, I mean,
yeah.
If you could flex Packers-Bears, because the Bears are actually good.
Because it matters.
That's a NBC dream.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be, right?
The Bears?
No. They were 7-10 last year.
On paper, the Bears are supposed to be good, yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, that franchise is one that I don't know if they have the right leadership in place. I honestly do not. And if that's not right, even if that roster it turns out to be as good as it looks like it is, and that defense was spectacular in the second half. I mean, if we want to tout how good Jordan Love was in the second half last year and think that that's going to lead to future success, I understand why Bears fans would think that about their defense, because their defense post-trade was one of the top 5 defenses in the league. Now, can Caleb Williams step in and do anything close to what C.J. Stroud was able to do a year ago? That's what it kind of comes down to for the Chicago Bears.
It's a good comparison.
That game seems to fit perfectly into a keep-out game for the Packers against the Bears, be it a wild card position, something along those lines. That's what you would imagine, because it's going to take Caleb Williams a bit to get going here. I don't know Chicago's schedule yet, but that seems like a perfect, they're on the verge of a playoff berth, and the Packers have the opportunity to keep them from the playoffs, which would be the biggest game of the week, without a doubt.
Without a doubt. Let's run through it, just one by one real quick. So let's start with the obvious. We knew this one for weeks. Week 1, Packers at Philadelphia. Technically, that game will be played in Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's a win.
Why did you say that like Forrest Gump?
Because
He didn't know how to say Sao Paulo, but he heard me say it earlier today,
did,
so he's
yes.
trying to imitate it. Yeah. I joined Mr.
All right,
Irrelevant.
You made it 4 minutes without making fun of me. 4 minutes, Josh.
I wasn't bullying you. I was just picking on you. There's a difference.
I just want to point out, Gabe, I don't know if you saw this, and anybody listening or watching on YouTube at ESPN Madison, at ESPN Milwaukee, Josh tweeted out the 5-word phrase, "I will not bully Strofe," 12 times when promoting this show tonight. That's all his tweet said. I will not bully Strofe. It took you 4 minutes.
Like Homer, like Bart Simpson on the board. That was me. Yeah. I was trying my best.
Okay, so game 1, Packers of Philadelphia. We've spent plenty of time on that game over the course of the last few weeks. Week 2, the home opener for the Packers, the Indianapolis Colts. You get Jordan Love, Anthony Richardson in week number 2. It's kind of an interesting matchup. 2 young quarterbacks.
The Colts were still a pretty good team last year. And even though they were without Richardson for most of the season, they were relevant late in the season, had that big game against the Texans in week 18 to determine who was going to go to the playoffs for the AFC South. And that is a roster that is good. And if Anthony Richardson can return from his injury and look anything like he did in the first 4 or 5 games, like that could be, that's a good team. That is a roster that is solid. If that quarterback play turns into pretty good, like that could be a pretty good young quarterback matchup in week number 2.
That game's not a layup like it was last year. There's
Correct.
no backup.
Here's the thing about
he doesn't
schedule.
have.
I don't know if there's any.
There's not a lot.
Yeah, there ain't. Tennessee, I would call it.
And that's week 3. They're at Tennessee.
Yes. But on
I'm gonna
the
chalk
road,
that one in.
But on the road, you never know, right?
Who is their quarterback? Will Levis?
Will Levis is their quarterback.
Yeah.
I like Will Levis.
No more Derrick Henry.
Showed flashes last year. Yeah, they're
no more
rebuild.
Vrabes.
Yeah, they decided to fire their coach.
Who's their head coach?
That's a good question. The fact that it doesn't jump into our heads quick is probably an indication.
I can't name any of their skill position players, I don't think.
Oh, they have DeAndre Hopkins and
Still?
Traylon Burks?
They do have
Brian Callahan.
Burks.
Not very good.
Brian Callahan. I don't know. That is the most average white name I've ever heard in my entire life. All right, week 3 is at Tennessee. And I think Joshy's point is right. That's probably the easiest layup on that schedule. Week 4,
I think that's I looked at over-unders earlier today, and what do we have? The Titans, 6.5.
that's got to be the lowest
Which
here.
is tied for the lowest total of any team.
Is it with the Vikings?
With the Vikings and the Cardinals. But they also have the longest odds of any team to make the playoffs. If you want to bet on the Titans to make the playoffs, it is plus 500. You would win a $500. You put down 100 for them to make the playoffs.
So does that mean they're the favorite to have the number 1 overall pick next year?
Maybe.
If they are the longest odds to make
Well,
the playoffs?
So
excuse me,
facto?
the longest odds on the Packers schedule. I
Yeah.
should have clarified.
Gotcha. Week 4, also the lowest odds in the Packers schedule. They return home to take on Minnesota. So just to recap, the first 4 games at Philadelphia and Sao Paulo, Brazil. Thank you very much. Week 2, returning, or rather opening their home schedule against the Indianapolis Colts. Week 3 is at the Tennessee Titans. Week 4, returning back to Lambeau for their first divisional game of the season, all the way in Week 4 against the Minnesota Vikings. And will it be Sam Darnold or J.J. McCarthy? We will wait and see.
It's got to be J.J.
Yeah.
McCarthy.
You think?
By that point? Have you seen Sam Darnold play football?
Yeah, but like
The answer is no, you haven't recently, and there's a reason for that.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
League circles are high on him, though, Gabe.
They always are. There's always
You know
one.
what?
There's always one backup who.
Well, they're not high on Josh Rosen anymore. I'll say that much.
No.
I mean,
Johnny Manziel.
People were getting excited about Sam Darnold this time last year in San Francisco. Like, oh, man, look out.
He can really fill the role there, and Brock Purdy's missing.
Sam Darnold, maybe he's the guy. Maybe he can unseat Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Guess what he didn't do? And come close to doing.
Did you guys see the video circulating last week of J.J. McCarthy throwing to a coach that was like
did.
standing
Yeah, he can't
from me to
throw
you
left.
away, Gabe?
I did.
And he
can't-
threw to his left side, and he missed him by 3 feet.
He's got the Trubisky disease. He can't throw left.
Yeah, no, he's the Zoolander of NFL quarterbacks.
They might win 4 games. Week 5, interesting one. Joshie, you and I talked about this earlier today, Mr. Relevant. Week 5 is Packers at the Rams, McVay, LaFleur.
Yeah, that game to me is intriguing because that's like probably the first real test, other than week 1, where you're looking at an offense and going, is the Packers defense going to be up to the measure against an offensive mastermind, probably the best offensive play caller in the NFL altogether, and then a lot of skill players. You got Puka, Cooper Kupp, Kyron Williams. They invested in a rookie at the running back position. That will be interesting to see how Jeff Hafley stacks up. And is it scheme or is it the guys just aren't ready? The defense isn't clicking.
Matthew Stafford has to be healthy for that, and that's always
Yeah.
a question for the Rams at this point in his career.
It's early.
It
though.
is, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it's early. It's week 5. That's
But
what,
again, you
second
never
week of
know.
October.
You never know with Matthew Stafford. If he's healthy, that is sit on the couch, and I am terrified every time
No
that
doubt.
the Rams have the ball.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Week 6 opens the first of 2 in the Packers' schedule, back-to-back home slates. Week 6, they host the Arizona Cardinals. Layup.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's a layup on the schedule, I'd pick Arizona over Tennessee.
Really?
I don't believe in Kyler Murray whatsoever, and I don't think the Cardinals do either, Gabe.
See, but do you believe in Kyler Murray more than you believe in
Will Levis?
Will Levis?
Sophie's choice, bro. That's
And, Kyler Murray, being as athletic as he is, he had some decent enough games
Yeah.
a year ago. They're trying to rebuild that wide receiver room.
Marvin
that-
Harrison Jr.
I don't think that is as big of a layup as we want it to be. I mean, do I
It's at
expect the
Lambeau.
Packers to win that? Do I expect
Yeah.
them to be favored by around a touchdown? I do.
I mean, these are the games you have to win.
Yes, 100%.
no, go ahead.
Without a doubt.
Pre-bye week, week 7 is my favorite game on the schedule. That is C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans coming to Lambeau Field, taking on Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. I joke when I say this, but only a little bit. It's a Super Bowl preview.
Another offense that should test the Packers. Tank Dell, C.J. Stroud, Nico Collins, Dalton Schultz. Like that's
Yeah.
really good.
Joe
That's
Mixon? Did
a
you
really
mention Joe
good-
Mixon?
Yeah, I have not. That is going to be an offense that is going to be locked and ready to go.
Yeah, they can score in bunches, and they have a defense that you would figure is getting better and better. They were in the playoffs, so this is
What a playoff game.
Yeah, this is the measuring stick. This is the game everyone's going to look at and compare. How does Jordan Love look versus C.J. Stroud? How does the offense look in terms of firepower? And is the defense better? Is it worse? How do they match up? Because this is, I think, pretty much as long as both these guys are with their respective teams, being Jordan Love and C.J. Stroud, they're going to be compared year in and year out, and it's going to be who has MVPs, who has, the deepest runs in the playoffs. It's going to be just a consistent measuring bar for the Packers.
I love the Houston Texans offense. And if there's anything that's similar to the Packers offense in the AFC, it's the Houston Texans. Young quarterback, young receivers, proven running back.
They might be better at every position, though.
The thing is, their weapons
Not a running back.
Their weapons aren't as deep.
Okay, I would agree with that.
Yeah, Joe Mixon's on the back end there of his career. They don't have as many as the Packers, but
their top two.
Nico Collins looked very good, and Tank Dell was seemingly like a rising star.
Yeah. Well, same thing with Nico. Like, Nico had an unbelievable year ago. He was kind of growing there, and they just didn't have a quarterback to get him the football. Then they did, and he just exploded onto the scene last year. Like, if you take the Packers top 4 and the Texans top 4, the first 2 picks are Houston Texans receivers.
Oh, hey, and they added Stephon Diggs.
Forgot about that.
The top 3. I completely forgot about Stephon Diggs. Oh, man, is that a terrifying offense to play.
Isn't that a fun game? So
No, that is not fun.
Oh, well, okay. Hold on a minute. That's week 7, which is likely, the week before Halloween, Gabe?
Sure.
It's May 15th. You can calm down a little bit. That's 5.5 months from now.
Not going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
I'm excited for Jair and Stephon Diggs.
And I was just about to say, right?
No, Jair's not even going on Stephon.
You get that rivalry renewed.
If he's following someone, it's Nico.
Yes, he is. It's Stephon Diggs. That rivalry is renewed.
Yeah.
But if you want him to follow
would they have 2 years of crossover or 3?
What?
When he was in Minnesota.
I don't know. The rivalry isn't important. It's whoever.
I disagree with that.
Whoever views it, whoever Jair views as the most important.
Nico.
He's talked about how much he's wanted to face the best receiver as much as possible. That's his thing.
As long as Jeff Hafley allows him to do that, because Joe Barry sometimes did not.
Most of the time did not.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think if you want to keep Jair happy and a part of the team, you're going to give him those shots.
Gabe, before we get to break, and we'll continue to run through the Packers' schedule, or through the first 7 games, we'll look at the rest of the schedule coming up next. Jeff Hafley's defense, how quickly do you want to see like a true identity out of them? Because you have some tough offenses early, but you do have that week 2, 3, 4 stretch, Indianapolis, Tennessee, Minnesota, where the offenses aren't all that great. Indy's the best one of the 3, but by the end of that first 4-game stretch, do you really want to know?
I don't think we're going to know through the first 4-game stretch. And I don't think that's a problem because you want them to figure it out. You want them certainly to have an identity by late in the season. But even if you get to the bye, if you get through Jacksonville and Detroit, the next 2 games before you get to the bye, and you still don't quite have that identity, but you're starting to see some things form and start to come together, I think that's what you want to see. Like, you want to see them kind of progressing. You want to see some of the things that have just pissed us off as Packers fans over the last, it's 3rd and 4 and the corners are 8 yards off. Hey, let's not do that anymore. Like, I honestly just want those little things kind of early.
Cleaned up.
And then as the season progresses, kind of see what the identity is. Try to see if somebody like Quay Walker is going to be a better fit in this defense than he was with Joe Barry.
There's a real potential here that coming out of week 3 and 4, the Packers defenses look just completely overwhelming. They look like, oh my gosh, this is a top 5 defense. And then you face the Los Angeles Rams and come back to earth, and you kind of have to reevaluate. Which version are they? Are they the version that looked like they were going to hold teams to under, 20 points every week out? Or are they the team that gave up some big plays against good offenses?
Yeah, let's not do the Aaron Rodgers, now we have a defense thing after week 1.
Right.
Like, that didn't really work out at the end of that season.
You know what I'll be saying if they beat Philly 24-10?
Elite. Super Bowl.
Oh, we got a defense?
We got top 3 defense in the league. Well, watch out. Watch out. Game night till Josh DiMaggio, Alex Strope with you here on ESPN Wisconsin. We're taking a look at the unofficial 2024 Packers schedule with you tonight until 8 o'clock. We'll actually know if Kyle Cousineau on Twitter at KCousineau09 is correct. He's been correct in the past, so we're trusting him. We will continue to dive into each of those matchups, when they are, where they are, as we roll on next. This is the, what are we calling this? The NFL schedule release special?
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, 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 indeed.
Nailed it.
Right here on ESPN Wisconsin. More next.
More of ESPN Milwaukee's NFL schedule release special is coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Real customers with real stories about their business technology relationship with James Imaging Systems, like owner-president of Event Essentials, Kevin Hoffman.
They've been supportive in the community, they've been a good partner and advisor. Their support's been good. It's just one less thing to worry about.
James Imaging Systems customer Brian Bainan, owner of Midwest Rock Tops, on the benefits of his relationship with James Imaging Systems.
eliminates my headaches. It was actually an eye-opener for me, just on the cost savings and the technology that's out there.
And James customer Cindy Heidemann, facilities coordinator with Nelnet Incorporated.
I think we get a great value with James Imaging with their service and the contracts that we have with them, that our cost stays low and we get the most for our money.
James Imaging Systems. Better business technology, lower costs, more value. Call 920-991-9822 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a must-play every golf season. Wild Rock Golf features championship golf in the heart of Wisconsin. Wild Rock, a Herdston Fry masterpiece that's cut from the natural beauty of the Wisconsin Dells and offers stunning views from elevated tee boxes. Wild Rock presents spectacular greens that roll fast and true. Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a unique gem that offers a challenge to avid golfers of all abilities. Book your tee time today for this must-play at wildrockgolf.com, wildrockgolf.com.
Ben Brust here from Kyle Brust and Ortman and tell you about the newest spike tee on the market, and that is Hoop Tee. And when I mean that it's the newest and best, it was born on the boardwalk of Ocean City, Maryland, and enjoyed now right here in Madison, Wisconsin. With flavors like an original spike tee. You have peach, you have mango, you have watermelon. Hoop Tee will make you feeling great with whatever flavor fits your profile. Hoop Tee. Enjoy the hoops on the screen and hoops in your hand. HoopTee.com. Must be 21 years or older to enjoy.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
Jeff Levering and wife Ashley love their patio door from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It's so bright, it's so clear. I can see the kids outside playing, and it makes it comfortable for the life we live, which is an active one.
I love the roll screen. The fact that the screen is on the inside.
For the first time, our whole house actually feels like the same climate.
And no drafts. It's a game changer.
Hi, I'm Gina Della from Pella. And if you order today, you get 0% interest for up to 48 months. When it comes to replacing or upgrading your windows and doors, you want to be confident about your decisions. With Pella Design Works, you can see what your home could look like before you buy. Black frame windows or white, vinyl, wood, or fiberglass. Bring your vision to life and rest assured it's the perfect style for your home. Right now, get 0% interest-free financing for up to 48 months when you order by May 31st. Set your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. That's 5/31/2024.
Hey, it's Hunter Vaughn. ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see teams making an impact in their community. Nominate your local team today at ESPNMadisonGameChangers.com.
Breaking news on ESPN Madison is presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or visit MetroKiaofMadison.com.
You're listening to ESPN Milwaukee's NFL Schedule Release Special on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
ESPN Wisconsin's NFL Schedule Release Special with you alongside Gabe Neitzel, Josh DiMaggio, I'm Alex Strofe. On 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN in Madison. We're making our way through the unofficial 2024 Green Bay Packers schedule. So far, we have talked week 1, and this one we know is official, at Philadelphia. We also know week 2 is official, home game. Home opener in week 2 against the Indianapolis Colts. Anthony Richardson, Jordan Love. There's some juice to that game, in my opinion. Week 3, this one's unofficial. At the Tennessee Titans. Week 4, they return to Lambeau to host their first divisional game, play their first divisional game of the season against the Minnesota Vikings. Gabe says, without a doubt, it will be J.J. McCarthy, a quarterback for the Vikings.
Yeah. You want to know why? Because I haven't seen Sam Darnold play. Have not seen him play recently.
I think he's going to be the starter for them.
All year?
If he
By week 4, yeah.
Okay. If Sam Darnold is starting week 4,
Yeah.
You think that's less of a layup than the Cardinals?
Yes.
If Sam
Yes.
Darnold's starting at quarterback, the Packers are going to be favored
Well,
by double digits.
we just gushed over the Texans' offense. The Vikings' offense isn't that far off. They have T.J. Hawkinson, who may not be healthy at that
Yeah.
point.
Quarterback.
But Justin Jefferson,
Yeah, fantastic.
Jordan Addison,
Yeah, it's very good.
Aaron Jones.
Yeah, pretty good.
Uh-huh.
You know what you need to make all those people happy?
QB.
Quarterback that can throw you the football.
Pill slings.
I didn't like that noise.
I wish I could have whistled it.
That's right.
Didn't have the hit in me that time.
Yeah, that's all right.
You win
man.
some, you lose
It's all right.
some.
Week 5, the Packers unofficially will visit the Los Angeles Rams. McVay versus LaFleur. Week 6 and 7, both home games. They will host the Arizona Cardinals in Week 6. They will host the Houston Texans in week number 7. That's where we've left off. Let's go to Week 8. Couple of quarterbacks looking to get paid. Jordan Love and the Packers visit the Jacksonville Jaguars. Quarterback Trevor Lawrence. I don't know how I feel about that one. I don't know what to make of the Jaguars.
I think the jury's still out on Trevor Lawrence.
I tend to agree.
They're a fine team. They're decent. They seem to be heading in the right direction. I think it's not. I'm not as afraid of them as, say, the Texans or the Rams, but that's a team. That's a game on the road.
Yep.
Could be warm at that time in Jacksonville. So
Could be. Isn't it always warm in Jacksonville? It's in Florida.
Yeah, but it's week 8? It's starting to get cooler. It's not.
Somebody call Brad Nortman. How cool does it get in Jacksonville?
I mean, it's not going to be in the 90s, I think, is Josh's point.
Right. Like the Miami and Jacksonville always have the distinct advantage early in the season. They love home games for that reason because the opponents just aren't ready for that level of heat.
Going to get dehydrated quickly.
Yeah.
Quickly. When it comes to Jacksonville, I do think they're interesting. And if you are someone who is not 100% sold on Jordan Love, like that's what happened with Trevor Lawrence last year is a distinct possibility. Because what he did and the Jaguars did the week or the year before, very similar to what the Packers did. Kind of got hot in the second half of the season, started playing really well. Now, the Packers dominated their playoff game where they made a pretty big comeback in the playoff game that they won, but also won a playoff game a year ago. And then he just didn't really. I was expecting Trevor Lawrence after what he did in the second half of 2022. Okay, here he goes in 2023. He's going to take that step forward. He really didn't. Kind of idled and just kind of stayed where he was. And that is, again, if you're not somebody who's sold on Jordan Love, that is a distinct possibility. And what happened to them, they ended up being a 9-8 team who just missed out on the playoffs in the AFC.
They're viewed as basically just a tier below the Packers. Like for the season-long win totals, they're 8.5. Packers are 9.5. They are just slightly behind the Packers. So that's going to be what you would presume a competitive game if all things shake out the way we are looking at the schedule now. That game should be competitive, close game.
But didn't you hear me say the Packers have a top 3 defense in the league?
Wait, they've already won that game 28-10?
Yeah.
They've already beaten
Yeah, Philadelphia,
beaten
yeah.
the Eagles.
Yeah,
Okay.
and at this
Just
point
wanted
in
to
the
make
schedule,
sure.
they are 6-1.
Okay, all right.
Who'd they lose to?
I'm guessing the Rams.
That is correct.
Okay.
Look at you.
You were doing a schedule game and you didn't even include us?
We'll do that later. That's for the 7 o'clock hour when we get real loopy. When you guys are, 11 hours or 12 hours away from being back on the air with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee? Yeah, that's when we'll play the schedule game. Don't you worry. Week 9, second divisional game, second home divisional game, the Detroit Lions.
This kicks off a crazy back part of the schedule for the Green Bay Packers.
It's insane.
The back part is just, it is, it's not for the weak of heart, that's for sure.
For anybody that has your pen or paper out trying to follow the schedule, I'm going to rapid fire the next couple of games to get ready to write. Joshy, though, Detroit before the bye, which is week 10, at home, could be a essentially middle of the season indication of who's in first place of the NFC North. That could be a game with a lot of implications going forward.
Yeah, another measuring stick game. It's the first time we are going to see Detroit. You want the Packers to be competitive in it. How does Detroit look at that point? Have they carried over their end of the season last year? And how do the Packers look in comparison? You would figure going into this, the Packers and Lions would be 1 and 2 in the division. If all things shake out the way we expect, this game could matter a whole lot, and you have to win your divisional games at home because on the road, no matter who it is, unless you're playing the Bears of the past, those games can be a coin toss.
Week 9 last year was the Rams. That's when the ship started to be righted. They won 4 of their next 5 games. That was the Brett Rippon game. That was week 9 of last year. They were 3-5 after week 9 because they had an early bye. I imagine it'll look a little bit different this year with how the front half of the schedule shakes out.
And I think the bye following week 10 is really good.
Oh, it's right in the middle of the season.
I like having the bye at that point. You don't have that Thursday night game early, so you don't have the mini bye to kind of help you out. So it's 9 straight weeks of games on weekends, and that is a bit of a tough stretch. But again, a week 10 bye, I think if you're the Packers and you're a good team, you'd rather have that bye later than early.
I don't have the literature here in front of me, but there is
literature?
Yes, there has been studies that teams benefit from buys
clearly
later in the season than earlier in the season because you are given that extra week to rehab some of those injuries. Now, I don't know how that shakes out when you go through a stretch of Thanksgiving, Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night. I don't know how that ends up looking when you follow that all up here future in the schedule, but you always want your bye week pretty much as late as possible.
Week 9 at home against Detroit. Week 10 is a bye. Week 11 you go to Chicago. That will be the Packers' first look at the number 1 overall pick, Caleb Williams. It is a game that I anticipate will be closer than we expect on May 15th. That is a team who I think is going to be better than a lot of us think on May 15th.
It didn't feel like it, but they only won that game 17-10 in week 18. Like, it was a one-score game.
17-9, yep.
17-9.
Still a one-score game.
Yeah, still a one-score game. Like, as good as the Packers' offense was late in the season, that defense still held them to under 20 points.
And they were missing a lot of key pieces defensively.
So it's the defense, they've gotten that figured out, I think, down in Chicago. It's whether or not Caleb Williams and that offense are humming. And I don't know if you've heard, they've already named him the starter. I mean, I don't know who else was going to start for them, but...
How crazy was that? Like, I understand he was asked the question.
Sure.
Head coach Matt Eberflus. But to just say, yeah, no competition.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we know, and then everybody made a big deal about it.
I don't know why everybody made a big deal out of it, because you drafted him number 1 overall. You don't have a quarter. You traded away your previous starter. Clearly, you didn't have another starter on your roster.
Brad Nortman and Kyle Wallace, Kyle Breston Nortman, weekdays from 2 to 5 on ESPN Wisconsin, the show I produce, they both were very angry that they did that he's taking first-team reps, and I just thought they sounded like the biggest idiots, and one of them played a successful career in the NFL.
I think obviously he's going to get first-team reps, but to come out and say it with a locker room full of veterans who are going to be looking at Caleb Williams with the side eye until he goes out there and prove it, to say it's your job, this is your team right out the gate, I think can send a message to the guys on the team like, well, this is it, that we're riding everything on Caleb Williams, and they are. But
do you know who the other quarterbacks on the roster are?
Doesn't matter to me. I mean,
it should if we're having this conversation.
No,
because if you give
because that's not the point, Gabe.
Yeah,
the point is he has to earn it with a room full of veterans and a team that has been bad for years and done things the wrong way. You would imagine.
Nah.
We'll see.
No, you're the number 1 overall pick for a reason.
Yeah, that's great.
You don't earn it when you're the number 1 overall pick.
I think Andrew Luck was taking second-team reps.
I'm sure that's how it works. Like, you just go in and you take multiple reps with different guys when you're young. It's not as crazy as you guys are saying.
You think DJ Moore's going to be really thrilled when Brett Rippon's throwing him footballs?
Is he a Bear now?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, he is.
Tyson Bagent on that team as well?
Tyson Bagent is also on that team.
Is he still?
Yeah.
They kept him? Huh.
Those are the quarterbacks that he's competing with in your little fantasy world.
Yeah, it's just the message sending is you're ride and die. He doesn't have to earn anything. It's his job. He doesn't have to come here.
What are you
going to
do next? Blame Generation Z for the downfall of America? Is that your next take?
I think we.
How many number 1 overall picks weren't handed the number 1 job?
I think we as
zero.
I think we as fans underestimate
Bryce
how
Young
things
was handed the job.
I think we underestimate how things in locker rooms matter and how messaging matters. We see all the time when Tausch says it all the time on Wilde and Tausch. When the players are saying the same thing as the coaches, that's the good part. They have to message. Messaging doesn't matter at your 9-to-5 job as much as it does in a locker room filled with testosterone guys going to battle.
You think DJ Moore's like, yeah, we just drafted Caleb Williams #1 overall. I really want to see him compete against Tyson Bagent, though. I need a competition in that room.
You don't even have to have a legitimate competition. That's the point I'm making. The point is that no matter the situation, you earn your right to be the starting quarterback in the NFL. That's my point. Everyone knows going into it, yeah, it's Caleb Williams. He's the guy.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, the players are smart. We hear Chewy talk about that all the time. Players know who can play and who can't and who can't.
Yeah.
You know who can't play?
Tyson Bagent.
You know who can't play?
Brett Rippon.
Do we know Caleb Williams can play yet? Because he hasn't taken a snap.
I guarantee you.
He hadn't taken a snap.
Guarantee you. Guarantee.
Oh, you're going to tell me he's better than Brett Rippon?
Yeah.
You're going out on the limb.
Going out on the limb.
Going out on the limb, everyone, today.
Like, so I don't even understand what we're talking about.
First 10 weeks of the Packers' schedule look like this: unofficially, officially, unofficially, officially. At Philadelphia, in Sao Paulo, Brazil in Week 1. They return to Lambeau in Week 2 for their home opener against the Indianapolis Colts. Week 3, they head to Tennessee. Week 4, they host Minnesota. Week 5, they go to the Rams. Sean McVay versus Matt LaFleur. Back-to-back home games, Week 6 and 7. Arizona in 6, Houston in 7. They go to Jacksonville in Week 8. The Jaguars and the Packers. Week 8 in Jacksonville. Week number 9, the Packers host the Detroit Lions. Week 10 is the bye. Week 11, they go to Chicago. The next 5 games on the slate, oh my goodness. We'll tell you what those are. Coming up next, Gabe Neitzel, Josh DiMaggio, Alex Strofe with you here on the ESPN Wisconsin NFL Schedule Release Special.
This is Madison's new home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
National semifinalist for the 6th time.
We're on Wisconsin Sports, 100.5 ESPN.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because our home policies help protect your dreams and come with peace of mind. Save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, it's Alex Strofe. Summer's coming quick. You better celebrate it right with my friends from Door County Distillery. Locally produced, handcrafted, and award-winning spirits made locally in Door County. Talk about classic. How about that green bottle of gin? The multiple-time award-winning single malt whiskey. And when it comes to Door County, you can't leave out the cherry-flavored vodka. Find them all at a retailer near you or check out their website with a huge list of unique cocktail recipes at DoorCountyDistillery.com. That's DoorCountyDistillery.com.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get house.
People across Wisconsin are enjoying the rewards, stability, and flexibility of a career in healthcare. Why not you? WIS Caregiver Careers can get you started as a certified direct care professional. You'll learn the skills you need to make life better for older adults or people with a disability. All training is free and online. Plus, earn $500 in bonuses. Start your new career. Sign up today at WisCaregiverCDCP.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Stoughton Health, in collaboration with patient and family advisors, seeks to advance the healthcare experience at Stoughton Health by providing a forum for past patients and families to provide feedback on a variety of healthcare and other related topics. Advisors offer constructive feedback on their personal journey at Stoughton Health, helping to elevate the patient experience and increase satisfaction. Interested? Please call Amy at 608-873-2308.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Wisconsin enjoys a rich history in broadcasting, which we celebrate at the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association Hall of Fame. We honor those who have devoted their careers to serving their local communities as legendary broadcasters. The Wisconsin Broadcasters Hall of Fame, inside the Hilton Milwaukee City Center.
At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we believe athletes are defined by their journey, not the medals they win. And creating a safer stage for all levels of competition is our priority. Join the movement to end abuse at uscenterforsafesport.org.
We are on Wisconsin sports like never before.
Sharing the love that all of us have for volleyball with everyone else is one of my favorite things.
The new home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball, 100.5 ESPN.
ESPN Wisconsin's NFL schedule release special. The tongue twister. Malik Strofe alongside the host of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy and 800 other programs, Gabe Neitzel, and the producer of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Gabe, if you were to do math on all the
your
shows
name's Josh DiMaggio.
you've hosted, let's get through it. Let's get to the point. Let's cut to the chase. All the shows you've hosted that have been like Good Karma brand centric, adding in also play-by-play, is it over 50 in your time here? Because you've been here since you were 12 years old. So in terms of, because like you've hosted pretty much in a fill-in portion every single show. There's also been shows that went by the wayside that you were on that you moved to. There's
went by the wayside? That was kind of a brutal way to say.
Well, I mean, some people just
Madison's baseball tonight.
Yeah, some people don't
Pour one
work
out.
here anymore. Like, there's names of people that are not employed by us, so it went by the wayside.
I doubt it's 50.
It's
But I could probably come up with a list and get back to you.
I don't want you to do it today because we got more things at hand, but I'd like a list of the amount of shows you've ever hosted.
All right. Can do.
Thank you.
Thanks for that, Josh. That was
You
really
bet.
good stuff. As we see it right now, Packers' unofficial official schedule. At Philadelphia, home against the Colts. At the Titans, home against the Vikings. At the Rams, home against the Cardinals. Home against the Texans in Week 7. At the Jags in Week 8. Home against the Lions in Week 9. The bye right in the middle, Week 10. Week 11, they go to Chicago. If you're writing this down, get your pens ready because I'm going to fly through the stretch and then we're going to talk about it overall. This 5-game stretch will make or break the Packers season. Week 12, they host the 49ers. Week 13, on a short week, Thursday night, they host the Miami Dolphins.
That is
on
Thanksgiving. Yeah, so that'll be the Thursday night game because obviously Detroit's early and Dallas is
midday.
Midday.
Packers, Dolphins, nightcap, Thanksgiving at Lambeau Field. Week 14, a full week later, they get a full week. They play Thursday night at Detroit. It's their second meeting with the Lions in 5 weeks. Week 15, they get a mini bye. They go to Seattle, Sunday night football. And then week 16, they return home to host the New Orleans Saints with 8 days rest on Monday Night Football. That is weeks 12 through 16. That is an insane 5-game stretch.
First and foremost, I am shocked that they avoided a Christmas Day game. I thought for sure, especially once the announcement came out today, that Netflix was indeed going to be the carrier for the 2 Christmas Day games on Wednesday, December 25th this year. I figured that, okay, you're putting a game on there. Oh, Christmas Day, who do we get on there that we know nationwide people are going to care and people are going to go to Netflix? Green Bay Packers.
They did all right with those games, though. All AFC teams. Chiefs at Steelers is the early one. Ravens at Texans is the late one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the Texans are the one that kind of make you think twice, but as we talked about earlier, they're a team that everybody's looking at similar to the Packers. The Packers just have the legacy. So Chiefs, Steelers, Ravens are all teams you look at and go, yeah, I see the draw.
Oh, yeah. And then, again, but even with the Texans, then,
Yes.
I mean, that could be a potential playoff preview type thing if the Texans are as good as they were a year ago.
They got good games, even though Chiefs, Steelers, who knows what that will end up looking like.
By the way, that Week 16 game against New Orleans that's on Monday Night Football, That's December 23rd.
Correct.
What a way to kick off the holiday week. No?
Monday night demolishing of the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, and then you
Merry
wake
Christmas
you wake
to
up
Alex
and
Strofe.
you wake up and Santa's there.
Well, no, you wake up and it's
Do
Christmas
you know?
Eve.
I was gonna say, do you
Well,
know who's
did
there?
you guys have divorced parents growing up?
No.
Did not.
Santa came both days, different houses. Yeah, one house on the 24th.
Santa does have
one
to
on the
get. He's got
25th.
a lot of houses.
He's got a lot of houses
reach,
to get, so-
some houses do get Santa a day early.
Yeah, all my childhood. Thank you very much. Anyway, so
It hasn't stuck with you, I can see.
what's that?
Nothing.
Santa twice a year?
Week 17, then they have the Minnesota Vikings. Week 17 on the road, then they wrap up Week 18 with the Chicago Bears.
That game's getting flexed, week 18. That'll be the Sunday night game.
I
Packers
would,
will be in as the divisional winner.
at the very least, that's a 325 game.
It's a Sunday night game. Bears win and they're in. Packers have already solidified the division, but they could solidify the bye.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, they're very optimistic for the next 3 months.
the NFL's done a really good job in recent years of making most every of these games matter in the Week 17 and Week 18. There is a scenario that either both teams are already in the playoffs because it's not unheard of for a wild card team to clinch before Week 18, or one of them's completely not in the running. I would hope it would be the Bears in this scenario, but I have hard time seeing the Bears with what we saw at the end of the season, the additions to the team being completely out of the mix for the playoffs at that point.
They were 7-10 team a year ago. And obviously last year's success does not indicate success the following year. But they are a very intriguing team to me this year with the addition of Caleb Williams, Keenan Allen, Roma Dunze, etc. Obviously a full season with Montez Sweat on the defensive side. A very intriguing team to me. I think they'll be alive in Week 18. And if they're not, they're going to be alive in Week 17. So
The NFL views them similar to the Jags, to the Browns, to the Chargers, Rams.
So
what's interesting about the Bears is, so again, I looked this up earlier. Their win total is at 8.5. And then I also looked what you would have to bet and what the odds are for, will this team make the playoffs? If you want to bet yes, the Bears will make the playoffs, it's minus 104. If you want to bet no, it's minus 118. So the favorite there, just slightly is no. But I mean, this is, again, the way that Vegas is looking at this, they look at the Bears as a borderline playoff team, as maybe that eighth team that's just on the outside. Maybe they can sneak in like the Packers did in that last wild card spot a year ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a couple games either way for them on their prediction can be difference between locked up or not close.
if you want to get into our schedule release special, the number is 800-990-3776. Steve on the text lines, going back to an earlier conversation we had, said, I mean, look at D-Bach and Tay. This is when we were talking about C.J. Stroud and Jordan Love. Look at David Bakhtiari and Devontae Adams. Now they think Love is a good quarterback after one season. And Josh and Heartland text in, can't wait to hear Gabe host the travel show on WTMJ this Saturday morning. Make it number 51.
Be the best damn travel show you've ever listened to.
Darts trade. So going back to that stretch after the bye, week 10 is the bye, right smack dab in the middle of the season. You play 9 games in a row, all Sundays other than week 1, that Friday game against Philadelphia. So you kind of get, you get what, 9 days between week 1 and week 2, and then it's 7 between every other game up until the bye. You open up play after the bye at Soldier Field against the Bears. You host San Francisco. You host Miami on Thanksgiving night on a short week. You go to Detroit the next Thursday night. You go to Seattle the following Sunday night. Then you return home to host New Orleans December 23rd, the day before the first appearance by Santa Claus against the New Orleans Saints on Monday Night Football. You go to Minnesota. You wrap up at home against Chicago. That's a heck of a second half of the season.
I am so glad that the schedule before the bye is not as stacked as after. Like, especially with having the late bye. And so, again, that's a tough part of the schedule just because you're playing 9 games in a row. And then the back part is so hard because, well, you're just playing a lot of really good teams.
That's where the good teams
That's
are.
where you have San Francisco and Miami and Detroit and see it like all back-to-back. And then, again, dealing with some wonky back-to-back Thursday. Dealing with these standalone games of Thursday night in prime time, Thursday night in prime time, Sunday night football, Monday night football. Like, you have these standalone games where it's just kind of a weird part of the schedule.
Going to be some late nights for you on Green Bay game night.
Yeah, me and Homer, we're going to be hanging out and having a good time.
Not a lot of sleep over the course of 4 weeks.
It's around the,
Sleep when you're dead, Gabe.
Yeah, exactly. Let's lead into the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Joshy,
time off.
Joshy, what do you typically do on December 23rd?
December 23rd?
Yeah, you hit
Typically-
me as a guy that's like getting drunk with high school buddies.
No, I don't hang out with as many high school buddies as you'd imagine. If they come down here to the Milwaukee area, I'll hang out with them. But yeah, I typically like to take off because I'm bad with taking vacation days. So I usually have off like from the 23rd through the end of the year. So yeah, I'll be drinking, boozing, hanging out. It's Christmas cheer. I'll be spreading it with a couple highlights.
I don't know what you were expecting out of the answer. That's about the answer I was expecting.
Timid Berserker 24 on YouTube. Timid Berserker. Timmy.
I didn't think that would break them.
Yeah.
Timmy says, liking the group vibe so far.
We have a good time.
Gabe, would you agree?
Yeah, no, hey, I love hanging out with this crew.
I was going to say, we all like each other, presumably. I like both of you.
You like to bully me.
Yeah. You bat you around like a cat does with catnip.
Like a cat.
You're a good sport about it. We
You're
have fun here.
You're
We
a
have
weird
fun
guy.
here.
All right, Packers
He's a
schedule
big
is Packers schedule is not official. I'm going to kick your ass in the break. Packers schedule is not official quite yet. We do have a leak that we think is official. We will find out in less than 15 minutes whether or not it is accurate. We will continue to revisit it. We will continue to talk it. At some point tonight, we will play the schedule game. At some point tonight, Jason Wilde will join us. At some point tonight, I'm going to punch Josh DiMaggio in the face. All still ahead.
Bring it, Pipsqueak.
More of ESPN.
Like, share, and follow ESPN Madison everywhere. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for more great content from ESPN Madison. This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
I knew that we were going to be getting engaged soon and needed to do some ring shopping. Heard the radio ads of Chalmers and decided, hey, we should give it a shot at Chalmers.
They were just awesome at accepting us through the door and understanding what she wanted in terms of how she wanted it, and they delivered.
Everybody always is telling me how sparkly my ring is. They tell me that they really like the style of the ring and the setting that it's in. I am ecstatic with it.
Thank you, Chalmers.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Hey, it's Hunter Vaughn. Every week, Dennis Summerow and I talk all things area high school sports, and we talk to local athletes, coaches, administrators, and more. You can find full shows over on Wisconsin On Demand or wherever you get your podcasts.
Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania is also brought to you by Canopy Wealth Management, Pasquale's Cantina, UW Credit Union, Stoughton Trailers, the GRB Academy, and Stoughton Health.
This update is sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Every Sunday home game, 9 lucky kids ages 6 to 13 will appear on the field during the national anthem. Enter a child for their chance to have their Major League moment today by visiting your local participating PNC Bank. Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
Hey, it's Kyle Walsh here from ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Bruston Nortman, and I gotta tell you about my favorite way to watch games, and that is with the Underdog Fantasy Sports app. A pick'em fantasy game where you win real money. It's easy to find in your app store and even easier to use. Here's how it works. Pick between 2 to 5 players from at least 2 different teams, then select higher or lower on those player stats, and if your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. Yeah, it is that easy, especially with the hoop season in high gear. You know I'm watching every game with the Underdog Fantasy Sports app. So right now, go to their easy-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com to sign up using promo code KBN, and Underdog will give you a mystery special pick to use on your first pick'em entry and a deposit offer. That's Underdog Fantasy and promo code KBN to claim your new customer special of a mystery player pick and your deposit offer. Must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tosher here for my friends at Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family-owned business for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off and 0% interest for 12 months on your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
The second annual ESPN Madison Open, presented by Coors Light, is coming soon, and you can swing into the fun. Molly Brown here. Join us on Monday, August 5th at Bishops Bay Country Club and help raise money for the Miracle League of Dane County. Purchase a whole sponsorship, and you'll help provide adaptive equipment, uniforms, and a safe, inclusive environment where every child can thrive. Interested? Email ESPN Madison Sales at goodkarmabrands.com. Sponsor a hole, donate, and make dreams come true with the Miracle League of Dane County, because every child deserves the chance to play ball.
The best part about the schedule release is that the Green Bay Packers social media channels have really stepped up their game. It's ESPN Wisconsin's NFL schedule release special alongside Gabe Neitzel, Joshie DiMaggio, Alex Strofe with you. They just tweeted out a 9.5-minute warning to the schedule release that featured Larry McCarron. And if you are not familiar with The Rock, his pinky on one hand is completely bent to the side. So he has essentially 9.5 functional fingers. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, so when football guys were football guys with their wonky fingers.
And their leather helmets.
Uh-huh.
Here you go on your Generation Z rant.
I do think it's... I was being sarcastic there. I do think it's interesting that the Packers sort of succumbed to the public pressure. David Bakhtiari.
I was about to say, it wasn't even just public pressure. The call was coming from inside the building.
Yeah, and then there was other players who agreed with him, so... I'm interested in the fact that the Packers seem to have taken a very different approach and are trying to be fun and entertaining, which has gotten some teams in trouble in the past, but you'd hope the Packers, who are historically conservative when it came to the humor, are going to play it pretty safe still.
Remember when the Chargers tweeted about P.F. Chang's? Do you guys have any idea what I'm talking about?
No.
The lore behind that is... It was just...
Josh knows all the internet lore.
Yeah, it was...
P.F. Chang's in the Charger.
That account was just a guy's account who started Twitter very early, and he worked in their marketing department. And when they switched it over to the Chargers account, they just kept all the old tweets on there. So you could just see old tweets of his from when he was like the first guy, one of the first people to be using Twitter.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Okay. 2011. I'm going to find my wife and head to P.F. Chang's at Chargers. Anyway. We are just minutes away from the official release of the Packers schedule, but we are a bunch of geniuses on this panel, and we've got all 17 games for you ahead of time. Week 1 at Philadelphia and Sao Paulo. Spoiler alert. It's a Friday night.
How do you feel about that?
I was just about to ask you the same question.
I personally don't like it as somebody who has been affiliated with high school football and Catholic Memorial and Marquette and all the games that we've done here with Good Karma Brands over the last handful of years. I don't like the fact that college football is starting to creep in on Friday night. I don't like the NFL is creeping in on Friday night. I wish they would just leave that alone. Do I understand why they're doing it?
Of course.
Of course I understand why. The money's there, but... It just, you were kind of hoping that at some point the NFL would put up a stop sign somewhere, and clearly they're not. If they see an advantage, if they see something they can do, they're absolutely
They're playing Week 1 on Friday and Christmas on a Wednesday.
Yeah, and historically, the not just the Packers, the NFL has respected like the sanctity of the Friday night football because it is the fostering ground for the guys who end up in the NFL. So like they've talked a lot about how much they don't want games on Friday. And they're going to just keep creeping into it.
You love it, don't you?
What?
Friday night, Week 1.
And here's the thing. I love when my team's the first one to play because you get the anxiousness out of the week, or one of the first one. Obviously, there's still Thursday night games. But I hate on Sunday when I get there and go, well, there's no Packers. Even though I just watched them on Thursday, I want Sunday noon every single time.
Sunday noon?
Sunday noon. That's the best time. I wake up.
Nah, 3:25 is better.
I have to watch the early games and anticipate
Red Zone.
and
Red
think
Zone
about
time.
it. Believe me, Red Zone's on 24/7. Red Zone starts, I'm on.
Well, that's not
Red Zone
24/7.
ends. I turn it off.
But you
Sometimes
get,
I listen to the
7-1.
The best red zone time is from noon to 3.
Correct.
Yeah, this is a good time.
And there's only like 3 games.
But
on
I can't be paying attention to injury reports and taking bullets and having fantasy games swing while the Packers aren't even playing. Can't have it. It's too much.
I got bad news for you, Joshy.
A lot of it?
Jordan Love's good. Guess what ain't happening? When we get the official schedule and we get the list of this, I'm not anticipating a lot of noon kickoffs. For the
I would
Green Bay
imagine
Packers.
there's going to be a lot of 325.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. I agree.
And how about that stretch starting with Thanksgiving against the Miami Dolphins at 7:20 p.m. on Thanksgiving night?
Prime time.
Following week, Thursday Night Football, first game of the week in
Prime
week 14. Following week, you got to wait all the way until Sunday Night Football, Joshy.
Prime time.
And then the following week, they are the final game of the week on Monday Night Football against the New Orleans Saints, which is what game?
Prime time.
Hey, it's good for the Packers. Me personally, this is what this show's about. My life. And how I like watching games.
The good news is, as of right now, you only have to wait all day for Sunday night once.
That's a good thing. We like that. Monday night, though, I hate when the week is over and you have to just wait. I got to show back to work and talk about the game coming. I need a game to happen.
Some oddities in the Packers' schedule. Bill on the text line pointing it out. The gold package this year,
which
if
is
this
the
schedule
Milwaukee
is correct,
package, yeah.
the Milwaukee package. Bears, Lions, Vikings.
All the division games.
Serves those people right
And
who
Bill-
try and bully the gold package who saved the Packers.
The Bill
Serves
says
them right.
the green package people are really going to be pissed off, says Bill. And Billy in Sussex chimes in with this. Just have to chime in, fellas. I just had a rot dog at the corners of Brookfield.
Say what's up to our guy.
And it
Ashley.
was delicious. Still didn't see a menu item named after the morning show, though.
No,
you guys are going to have
that's-
to work on that.
I don't think it's ever going to happen.
It's never happened.
All
I
right.
don't think it's ever going to happen.
2 minutes away from the official schedule release. We think we have it. We'll find out if we're wrong. That's next on ESPN Wisconsin.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Ben Brust here from Kyle Brust and Nortman and tell you about the newest spike tea on the market, and that is Hoop Tea. And when I mean that it's the newest and best, it was born on the boardwalk of Ocean City, Maryland, and enjoyed now right here in Madison, Wisconsin. With flavors like an original spike tea. You have peach, you have mango, you have watermelon. Hoop Tea will make you feeling great with whatever flavor fits your profile. Hoop Tea. Enjoy the hoops on the screen and hoops in your hand. HoopTea.com. Must be 21 years or older to enjoy.
Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a must-play every golf season. Wild Rock Golf features championship golf in the heart of Wisconsin. Wild Rock, a Herdston Fry masterpiece that's cut from the natural beauty of the Wisconsin Dells and offers stunning views from elevated tee boxes. Wild Rock presents spectacular greens that roll fast and true. Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a unique gem that offers a challenge to avid golfers of all abilities. Book your tee time today for this must-play at wildrockgolf.com, wildrockgolf.com.
April showers bring May savings at Metro Kia Madison, like a 2024 Kia Sportage at 1.9% APR financing for 48 months, $21.65 per thousand borrowed. Or how about a 2024 Kia Telluride at 4.75% APR financing for 48 months, $22.92 per thousand borrowed. All offers for qualified credit only, plus get your current vehicle ready for summer with Metro Kia's Spring Alignment Special, starting at $139.95. Hurry in to Metro Kia Madison today.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Hey, this is Eric Name of The Athletic. You're listening to Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
NFL schedule release special alongside Gabe Neitzel and Josh DiMaggio. Here's Alex Strofe.
Yeah, Josh DiMaggio is still with us. Gabe Neitzel is still with us. I'm Alex Strobe. I'm still with you. And the Packers' schedule is here in its entirety. The schedule we told you the last hour was accurate. However, we have game times now, which just makes it a little bit more fun. 800-990-3776 your way into our schedule release special. Which game are you most looking forward to? You gold package member? You get all divisional matchups this year. Oh, baby. Good for you, Milwaukee. What'd you call them, Joshie? The people that saved the team?
Yes. The gold package, the Milwaukee fans saved the Green Bay Packers.
And they reaped the rewards of that this year. 3 games in the gold package, all divisional opponents.
About time those people saw some respect.
Darn straight, Josh. Well said. All right, let's run it down. Here we go. Week 1, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Green Bay Packers in Sao Paulo, Brazil. That is considered a road game for the Packers. It is a 7:15 kickoff on Friday, September 6th. We knew that one already. Here you go, Josh. Week 2 against the Colts at Lambeau Field. Noon kickoff.
Nooner.
Love a nooner.
Week 3 at the Tennessee Titans. Noon kickoff. Nobody?
Nooner.
Thank you.
I didn't know we needed to repeat it every time.
Well, Josh.
I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted watching the Packers schedule release video.
Can you wait for a commercial break?
Keep going.
Week 4 at home against the Minnesota Vikings. First divisional game on the schedule.
Nooner.
Nooner.
3 in a row. 3 noons in a row.
You know, things are just coming up Joshy tonight.
Week 5 at the Los Angeles Rams, not so fast. 3:25 kickoff at LA.
I mean, it's out in LA. That makes sense.
It's the second best time.
Okay. All right.
I thought you said Thursday night was better.
No, he hates Thursday night.
Yeah, because then Saturday, Sunday happens. What the hell? Where's the Packers?
I got nothing to do.
Week 6 home against the Cardinals, nooner.
Hell yeah.
Week 7 home against the Texans.
Nooner?
I am shocked by that one.
Me too.
I thought that would be
Me
a
too.
325. Stroud, Love. I thought that Fox or CBS would jump all over that.
Week 8 at the Jacksonville Jaguars, Sunday, October 27th. Joshy?
Nooner!
Another nooner.
A lot of them.
I
was not expecting
Not
this
a lot
many.
after this point, though. Yeah. Week 11 after the bye at the Bears is a nooner.
That's kind of surprising.
Yeah, a little bit. And it's too early to flex.
Yeah.
So that's something to keep in mind. Week 12, the Packers return home to host the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday, November 24th. That is a 3:25 game.
If that was at noon, I would have had a lot of questions.
That's an NFC Championship game preview. Book it, mark it.
Wow.
Call it right now.
Wow,
That's the
this
NFC
guy calling
Championship
a
game.
shot.
That's the NFC Championship game. Week 13, the Packers are home again. That's 4 days later. Thanksgiving, as we mentioned earlier, that is a 7:20 p.m. kickoff. That is the late game on Thanksgiving. Packers, Dolphins, 2 of the best offenses in the league, maybe, this upcoming year, but it certainly was an offense that the Packers compared themselves to last year. John Runyon Jr., the former Packer, saying, we're like the Dolphins, who scored 70 points the week prior to him saying that. Still one of the more idiotic things said last year.
Did we discover that was basically like they were going to use motion more, like the Dolphins were at the time?
I
Like the
believe so.
running start stuff. That was basically all that really ended up meaning.
Correct.
So after playing on a Thursday on Thanksgiving, Packers don't get 10 days of rest. They just get a week. They're back on Thursday the following week as they visit the Detroit Lions on Thursday,
I feel
December
like
5th.
The league's done that a lot. Either the Thursday before, or like the Cowboys will play because then they're playing the Thursday after. The Lions end up playing the Thursday after. I mean, they've done that a lot, especially with those two teams are always playing on Thanksgiving, where they end up playing on back-to-back Thursdays. So while it does seem strange the Packers are doing it because they haven't,
The Lions.
a lot of teams have done it before.
And obviously they're playing the Lions, so they will do it again this year. Week 15, then they get 10 days or 9 days, whatever the math there is. They will head to Seattle for Sunday Night Football on Sunday, December 15th, 7:20 kickoff between the Packers and the Seahawks in their penultimate road game of the regular season. What?
You used penultimate.
Correctly, might add. Might add.
Credit to you, pedal back to you.
Thank you, man. Week 16, Monday Night Football at Lambeau Field, under the lights, December 23rd. What a way to kick off the holiday week, as the Packers will once again destroy
A little
the
snow
New
in the
Orleans Saints.
background, Christmas coming. Yeah, sign me up for that
Do you
one.
think the flyover for that game will not be private jets or military jets? It'll be a sleigh and reindeer.
I don't know if Mark Murphy has that kind of pull with the big guy from the
I
North
was
Pole.
going to say, you got Chris Kringle up there himself flying
Yeah.
over with Rudolph leading the charge.
I mean, if there is a United States sports town that resembles the North Pole, it ain't Buffalo. It's Green Bay.
Have you been there?
Buffalo or Green Bay?
North Pole.
Any three of them.
Well, I grew up in Green Bay, so yes, check. I have not been to
Two
Buffalo,
Christmases from
although
here.
Buffalo is on the bucket list.
Okay.
Bucket list?
Yeah, I got to eat wings in Buffalo.
Okay. All right.
You want to go with me?
No. Like Jesse Nelson when he went to Detroit in
Okay.
like week
Buffalo's
16.
a little bit better than Detroit. At least I'm jumping through tables and eating wings where they
I'm good on
originated.
Buffalo after October. Like everything prior to that.
I mean, I kind of see what you're saying, but I'm not going to Buffalo in July.
No.
The only thing to do there is go to a Bills game.
They had to cancel a game because they couldn't get out of their driveways. The players had to be rescued on snowmobiles.
Green Bay would never. Week 16, did I mention that one already? Yeah, New Orleans. That's why I asked about the flyover. Week 17 is their final away game. They go to the Vikings. That is a nooner.
Not shocking. Minnesota's going to be bad.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And then TBD on the time here and the day, Week 18, the Packers wrap up the regular season hosting the Bears, just like they did last year.
It's the way the league has done it, where they put a couple of games on Saturday, and then everybody else will be on Sunday.
How long have they been doing the TBD thing?
Several years at this point.
I mean, adding the Saturday portion, I think last year was kind of the first time they did that in the final week. The last handful of years, they've kind of kept everything up in the air, so then that way it's easier for them to kind of build the schedule of, okay, we're going to start with Sunday Night Football and then kind of work backwards.
Is it universal? Because like the Carolina Panthers, you can put them at noon, no matter who they're playing.
That's facts. That's a fact.
Yeah,
so
correct.
let's just get that one out of the way, or is everybody TBD?
Technically, out of respect for the Panthers, because stranger things have happened in the NFL, they're going to put TBD for everyone, Josh.
Fair.
Could
That's
be
a good
noon
question.
one.
I'm glad you asked it so we could cover it. But
Sadler and Madison text in on the text line, 800-990-3776. Nooners Buffet, Joshy. Nooners Buffet.
That's a Nooners Buffet. We're going to be having Nooners coming out of our eyeballs to start the season.
Ruben on the ESPN Madison YouTube chat. You guys are making this Los Angeles traffic fly by. Go, Pack, go.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for
8
listening.
noon games for you, Joshy.
Yeah.
Nooners Buffet.
Compared to last season, I could look this up, but how many like noon games / primetime games did they play last year? Because I feel like the NFL made a pretty heavy bet on the Packers, or am I just misremembering?
No, I
325
remember
against Chicago. Atlanta and New Orleans were both noon. And then this is where I get lost. Detroit was Thursday night. Monday was for the Raiders. It doesn't say the game times. I'm just trying to remember.
You're Thursday and Monday, we know what those are.
In my stupid noggin. And they had the early bye. I think Denver was later, wasn't it? That was a 325 because it was in Denver.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be, right? Like,
just tell me if I'm stupid, Gabe.
No, you're not stupid because it's West Coast, so it had to be a later game.
Minnesota, I don't know.
That was noon.
I gave it a shot, Joshy.
All right. Last year.
It's funny that you went to your computer to not find the times of the games, which Gabe I'm assuming found.
The Packers played 5 primetime games a year ago, and right now they have 5 nooners they had last year. Might help with your microphone just instead of sitting back and yelling.
How many nooners?
Thank you for the question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Also,
8
nooners.
Wow.
Nooners Buffet again.
It's a good day to be a Packers fan. We got Nooners coming
Brett
out of our
Claire
eyes.
says you guys will have a lot of early mornings at Lambeau. We sure will. We had a lot last year, though, too. That's me more so than these two.
As somebody who
Richards.
used to go up there quite a bit, the noon games were the best.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You're home at a decent hour.
There's
That is
nothing.
nice.
There's nothing worse than sitting in the traffic on your way back to Milwaukee, and it's like
Hold on a
12:30.
minute.
You're not
Hold
even to
on a minute.
Sheboygan yet.
But I will say, last year, December 3rd, 2023, Taylor Swift in town, Travis Kelce in town, Patrick Mahomes in town. The Packers beat the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. That was the most magical night at Lambeau Field I've ever had.
Oh yeah, I mean a Sunday night in Lambeau is great. As a fan,
Sunday
viewing
church,
it,
man.
Going there. I love being at Lambeau as a fan for a noon game. You wake up early, especially if you're staying in the area. You start boozing right away. You go down, walk around. Nothing better.
You get one game. Which one are you going to?
At Lambeau? Or
Any
overall?
game. Any game on the schedule. You get one game. Which one are you going to?
Thanksgiving, Miami. Not
Yeah.
not too
Really?
cold yet. I think it's going to be the best game of the season. The other one that sticks out to me at Lambeau is Houston. That's a noon game in October, so weather will be great. Week 7 against Houston or Week 13 against Miami are my two.
Houston would be my pick.
Yeah, I think
I want to see. I want to see the Texans in person.
Yeah, and that game's got a good chance for fireworks. Week 9 against Detroit.
Do you mean the fireworks they shoot off or just offensively?
Offensively, could be a
Okay.
shootout, a proverbial shootout.
But if it is a shootout, that means the fireworks outside the stadium would go off quite
Lots
often
of
because that means the
fireworks.
Packers would be scoring a lot.
Yeah, that's-
Double whammy.
Double firework whammy. Nooners and double firework whammies.
God.
You got everything
It's
here.
unbelievable we do this stuff full time. I mean, frankly, unbelievable. Thank you to our employers for letting us be here this evening. Speaking of which, you guys ready to play the schedule game?
Doing it next?
We're doing it next. Right here on ESPN Wisconsin's NFL schedule release special. We're back with you in 4.
Watch every ESPN Madison show live every day. Subscribe to ESPN Madison on YouTube for live video of every show and exclusive content. Just search ESPN Madison.
If you're a motorist of the four-wheel variety, please watch out for those of us in Wisconsin who do their traveling on 2 wheels. Adjust your mirrors to reduce your blind spots. Allow motorcyclists a full lane width. Use your turn signal when merging or changing lanes. And allow more following distance between you and the motorcycle. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve 0 preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. 0 in Wisconsin. Together we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
April showers bring May savings at Metro Ford of Madison. Get into a 2023 Ford F-150 at just 1.9% APR financing for 66 months, $16.09 per thousand borrowed. Or you can experience the desirable 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Big End with this great lease offer of only $299 per month with 10% down. Also, get your current vehicle ready for summer with Metro Ford's Spring Maintenance Special, just $399.95. Hurry in to Metro Ford of Madison today.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tosher here for my friends at Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family-owned business for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off and 0% interest for 12 months on your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Mike Greenberg, Greeny. I believe the most universally beloved team in the history of New York sports is not any of the Yankee teams, it's not any of the Giant teams, it is the 1970 New York Knicks. I think this group right now, this team, the way they play, the way they win, this is the most beloved Knick team. However far it goes, this will be the most beloved Knick team since that.
Greeny, weekdays noon to 2 on 100.5 ESPN. ESPN Madison is serving up something new this fall.
Badgers bust into the national semifinals.
Unprecedented success.
Kelly Sheffield has put himself among the elite in the sport.
Unrivaled enthusiasm.
Every single night, 7,000 plus, and they are in your face.
Looks like I love Wisconsin Bucks.
Unrelenting determination.
You have the best players and the best coach. You like the chance. A national semifinalist for the 6th time.
The new home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball. 100.5 ESPN.
You ever have one of those days when you just couldn't come up with the right answer? Well, I know one answer that pretty much solves all problems. Ice cream. Yeah, it's the answer to everything, right? And right now, at Quick Trip, our rich, creamy, straight from our dairy, Nature's Touch 1-gallon pails of ice cream are just $4.99. Yeah, now that's an answer worth digging into. Come on, be a problem solver. Bring home some fresh, delicious Nature's Touch ice cream, only from Quick Trip.
As you're putting your spring calendar together, we'd love to have you join us Saturday, May 18th for Mark Osiki's 6th annual Casting for Kids Fishing Tournament to support the American Family Children's Hospital, UW Carbone Cancer Center. We're on the Madison Chain of Lakes early, then back at the Alliant Energy Center for 2:30 happy hour, dinner, and live and silent auctions with cool autographed hockey items, guided tours, and a brand new fishing boat. There's even more on our website, castingforkids.org. Help us help the kids, castingforkids.org.
I've been here for about 3 years, been a team lead since 3 months. I love the company. It's a fun place to work. It always keeps you busy every single day. Right off the bat, I told them I wanted a career here. Sure enough, after 3 months, I got promoted. You just got to make sure that you have the ambition to get there. I can one day see my kid and say, hey, look, I built that trailer. My name is Gabriel, and I am incredibly proud to be part of Stoughton Trailers.
Stoughton Trailers, big opportunity.
The Packers' schedule is out. All 17 games, 16 game times released.
Nooners.
And we are reacting. 8 nooners. 8 nooners from Joshie DiMaggio. He is so happy. Will you drink more than 8 nooners? while watching a nooner.
I typically don't drink and watch the Packers.
Really?
Because that causes stress drinking. You drink more than you want to.
It's fair.
And, work. I got to work on it. And Thursdays, holidays, there'll be some boozing. But standard game, not a big drinker. Don't like to even leave the house, really. I like to be in my sanctum, my sanctuary watching.
No high lifes in your sanctum?
If you're feeling it. Not typically, though.
All right.
These rules aren't hard and fast, Trophy.
Yeah, no.
They're,
He's a weird guy.
Duh.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a tattoo of Homer on his leg.
Yeah, that's a great point.
He's wearing shorts. He's advertising it for the world today. This isn't the behavior of a normal human being.
All right, Jason Wilde's going to join us next segment, but first, we got to do it. We got to be the first people on planet Earth to play the schedule game.
All right.
Joshie, you want to lead us?
Week 1 in Sao Paulo. I got the Packers beating the Philadelphia Eagles.
I also have the Packers winning in week 1.
They're going to lose to the Eagles.
You say that's so definitive. I don't like it.
Do you think the Eagles are better than the Packers this season? Record-wise. Just record-wise.
Record-wise, I'm going to say yes. I think they're going to be in a worse division.
I would agree.
So I think they're going to have some games that are easier for them to win. And look, maybe Matt LaFleur learned his lesson from the last time they traveled internationally. I just don't have faith that he's going to be able to keep his disdain in and
poopy pants.
Yeah, not have it kind of leak out to the rest of the team.
I got too into here on this, not to go too deep on it because we got a lot to get to, but I got too invested in it's an away game, but you're not in Philly, so you got to steal this one. That's kind of my
I think it's going to be kind of a home game of sorts. Big Packers contingency in Brazil.
As much as a game in Brazil for the Packers can be, sure, yeah.
I mean, I feel like their game in London was, I think 60-40?
Well, Rodgers broke his thumb.
Sure, but I'm just saying from a crowd standpoint, it was probably 60-40 Packers.
That team wasn't very good.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Just making sure we're on the same page. Week 2, Joshie. Nooner.
We got a nooner. I got win against the Indianapolis Colts. I just think the Packers are a more established team. They've got more things figured out.
I imagine this is going to be unanimous, right, Gabriel?
Yeah.
Okay,
no, they're winning.
We all get the Packers.
Yeah.
Week 3 at Tennessee.
I got to win.
There's
no way they should.
3-0. 3-0. Week 4, nooner against the Vikings at Lambeau.
I got to win.
Win.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got my first loss next, though, against the Rams.
Yeah, traveling out to Los Angeles, taking on the Rams. I've got
if
that
Matthew
as a loss.
Stafford's healthy, they lose that game.
Correct.
I agree.
Yep.
Week 6, the Cardinals, nooner at Lambeau Field.
Win.
It's a win.
Layup. Easiest win of the season, biggest win of the season, statistically.
I'm not.
Blow out.
I think they're better. I think they're better than the Vikings.
I don't.
You've made that clear.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Okay, I'm just making sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, we're hearing what you're putting down.
I think the Cardinals will have the number 1 overall pick next year. Continue, Josh.
Versus the Houston Texans. Is this a nooner? Yeah.
It is a nooner, and it's at Lambeau. This is a tricky one. Gabe, go ahead.
I'm going to say they win this one. I think that this is a game where, kind of like last year with the Chiefs at home, the Packers kind of rose to the occasion. I think that this could definitely be a shootout, but I think the Packers offense is going to be ready to go. High-scoring game. I think the Packers win.
I put this one down as a loss basically because I started looking at the rest of the schedule and said, well, they got to have some losses in here. They can't
That's exactly how I feel, Josh.
I think this could be a close game. If it's a shootout, it's a coin flip. Historically, those just are last person who has the
I
ball.
believe this will be the game where we come back the next day. You guys come back 7 a.m. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, and you say, uh-oh, the defense. I got the Texans. Week 8, they head to Jacksonville, nooner.
I got them losing 2 in a row here. I got them losing to Jacksonville. It's just, you're going down to Jacksonville. You've played a tough game. For some reason, Trevor Lawrence puts it together. The Packers have a disappointing loss in Jacksonville.
I think they bounce back. I've got them beating Jacksonville.
I have a win against Jacksonville.
Bye week, we've all got a win there.
You missed a game.
Sure did. Week 9 at
There we go.
Lambeau.
Hey.
Against the Detroit Lions. That's what I meant.
I am going to say that is a loss. A bit of a letdown after they win. Big game against Houston, then they go on the road, beat Jacksonville, come back home to Detroit. I think I'm going to say that's a bit of a letdown.
I think it's a loss as well at Lambeau.
I got it as a win.
3rd year in a row, by the way, that would be a loss at Lambeau to the Lions.
So I think we all have them at 6-3 right now.
Correct.
Wow, interesting.
I mean, different way of getting there, but we're all 6-3.
So, okay, before we get into the stretch after the bye, because we talked about it before. Yeah. And they're 6-3.
Mm-hmm.
You feeling okay at this point?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, if you're 6-3 at any point in the NFL season, I think you're feeling pretty good. You're winning 2 out of every 3, You're winning 2 out of every 3. You're going to be in a good spot at the end of the season.
For a team that was 3-6 after 9 games last year.
Yeah.
6-3 is pretty good. It's a good improvement. All right, let's move on to week number 11 when they head to Chicago to take on the Bears.
I've got it as a win.
Win.
Yeah.
You like the Bears, man.
He is the most preeminent Packers-Bears fan.
I'm not a Bears fan.
he's the preeminent Bears-Packers fan.
I am not a Bears fan. I think everybody goes, oh,
That's what
this
people are
team.
saying.
This might be the.
Heard it on the street.
This is, you guys are idiots. I got the Bears. 2 losses in a row.
Oh, wow. So
Heading into week 12.
against
at
San
home
Francisco.
Against San Francisco. They would have lost before the bye and after the bye. And remember, traditionally after the bye, Matt LaFleur not very good. I believe they lost at Denver after the bye last year. I think they lose at Chicago after the bye. And I think he's only won 1 game, if I'm not mistaken, after the bye in his head coaching career.
I think you're correct.
So that's why I have them losing at Chicago.
San
San Francisco, Sunday, 3:25, week 12.
Yep.
Loss.
Win. They bounce back.
Back-to-back losses, and then they rally against the best team in the league.
Crazier
second
things
best
have
team in the
happened. I don't think so. That team's still good. They still got enough pieces.
Remember when they beat the Super Bowl champions in week 14 last year?
Remember when they lost to the San Francisco 49ers in the playoffs?
That's all they do to the 49ers. Finally, they get their lick back. I've got the Niners losing rather in week 12. Week 13, short week, Thanksgiving night. Packers host the Miami Dolphins.
That's a win.
Yeah, I have a win. I don't believe in Tua and the Dolphins.
I also have a win.
Not even. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like
Not very
the 5th hardest game on the schedule for me. But it really wasn't that close. I've got the Packers winning that one. Week 14, they head to Detroit. Will it be a season sweep for the Detroit Lions?
I have a loss.
I think they go into Detroit like they did last year and win.
I agree with you, Gabe.
I think
they split.
I think they split with Detroit, and it's just going to be awkward where just kind of the way it falls. I think they lose at home, win at Detroit.
I have a split just the opposite way.
Sunday night, week 15 at Seattle.
This one I went back and forth on a few times just because it's kind of a weird, you're going up to Seattle. I have a win, though.
I'm going to say this is a loss.
I have a loss as well.
It's just one of the toughest places to play, and I just feel with the schedule being as wonky as it is that they're going to trip up in one of these, and I think that's the one that makes the most sense to me for them to
You
lose.
guys can see on my schedule here that I've done with each of ours. I had win, cross it off, put loss, cross it off, and put it back as a win. So going into this one with a lot
Gonna
of
be
conviction.
a tight one out there in Seattle.
He's sitting in Kyle Wallace's seat. It's only natural he flip-flops a few times. Week 16 is Monday night against the New Orleans Saints. Did I skip a game?
In Lambeau Field? No, you did not. In Lambeau Field, let's win.
I agree.
Yeah. I would be in panic mode if they lost this one.
Week 17, they go to Minnesota, their final road game. It is a nooner on December 29th, their final game of the calendar year at Minnesota.
That's a win.
Yeah. J.J. McCarthy stinks.
He
So
sure
does
does.
Sam Darnold.
J.J. McCarthy will be the quarterback for that one.
Oh, okay.
Week 4, though,
It's going to be J.J. McCarthy.
Week 4, it'll be Sam Darnold. Final game of the year at Lambeau Field. TBD on when they will play, either Saturday or Sunday, against the Chicago Bears.
I have a win. The Packers hold off the Bears for one more season and stay undefeated.
12-0 for Matt LaFleur and Elton Jenkins and company.
Yeah. I've got that as a win as well. So right now I've got 12-5.
I also have that as a win. I did not write down my predictions. Josh, you do some math for me.
Who did you have in the Jacksonville game?
I had the Packers.
You had the Packers. Alrighty, here. 1, 2, 3,
this is great
4,
radio. Thanks.
5. 12-5.
You have them at 12-5?
12-5.
You have them at
12-5 across the
No
board.
kidding.
I mean, again, very different ways of getting there, but yeah, we're all
Ribbit. Toads. Bunch of toads here. 9.5 win team. We all got them at 12.
Is 12-5 good enough to win the NFC North?
I don't think so. I think you got to get to 13.
It might be tiebreaker scenario for me. Who knows?
13. Again, 12-5. Yes. Then, and I think we all had them splitting against Detroit.
We did.
So then, it becomes even more complicated at that point. But 13, I think, wins you outright. 12, you're probably looking at tiebreakers.
Play your schedule game at home. Let us know what you get. Tweet it. Text it, 800-990-3776. YouTube chat, ESPN Madison, ESPN Milwaukee. I would love to see where you have this team. We all have them at 12-5, and we all did it differently.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think
You guys made fun of me. I have the same record as you. For having them lose to the Bears finally for the first time in Matt LaFleur's head coaching tenure.
Yeah, you're you.
What does that mean?
It's unbecoming the way you approach things.
I mean, again, you're the.
Have you noticed he just says things to say things?
Yes.
What are we doing here?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.
I have to count. I'm supposed to look at 17 W. This isn't high level stuff here.
Yeah, no, it's just.
Your camera's over there, pal. Show the camera.
This camera's right there.
Isn't my camera right there?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm looking at it, guys.
No, I got you in a 2 shot, so Josh, you're to the right.
You hear Pebble? I can see it, guys.
Two
Not lying to
shot.
you.
I didn't know you were getting crazy back there. Alrighty.
You're an idiot. 12-5 for the Packers. We have them, all three of us have them over the 9.5 win total. Significantly over the 9.5 win total.
Yeah.
We have them competing pretty much until the end of the year for the NFC North title.
Yeah. I think it comes down to the end. I would have loved to see the schedule makers have Packers Lions.
And for
in
that,
Week 18.
by the way, that post-bye week stretch, we only had them, I think, each losing 2 games. I think we had them going 6-2 over those final 8 games.
Yeah, I only have the 2 losses.
Yep, agreed.
I don't know that will be the case.
It's a really tough stretch. Again, because it's at Chicago. You know, you're at Seattle. San Francisco's tough wherever you play them. I can't imagine Minnesota sneaking up on people,
Yeah.
but you know, again, both Bears games are after the bye. And by the time we hit the bye, I think we're going to have a pretty good idea of who the Chicago Bears are.
Yeah, when you look at the schedule, the last 4 games, you can easily write the story of 4 wins.
Yep.
So for it to be that they're going 6-2 after the bye, it's not that shocking. There is a hiccup. There is a 5-4 potential, or what am I looking for here? But you know, there's a potential some of these games go the opposite way. But Chicago, Minnesota, New Orleans, you feel pretty good about.
No doubt. Chris in Nashville tweets in at GNeitzel16, at Alex_Strofe, at Josh_DiMaggio. The Badgers are at USC in Los Angeles on September 28th. The Packers are there the following week at the Rams on October 6th. A football bookend, a SoCal vacation for Wisconsin fans?
Kind of early for that SoCal vacation, though, right?
It's early.
Yeah. 'Cause
And
you're still
it's
kind of
long.
getting the weather here.
It's at
good
least
weather.
8 days. If you fly in Saturday and fly out Sunday, that's 8 days in LA. It's a long trip.
And I'm pro vacation, but when it
Oh, really are you? Hot take there, guy.
I bet I take less than you.
I bet that's not true. I bet that's not true.
What
Mr. Mexico.
What I'm trying to say here is when the start of the new year happens.
Senor Mexico.
Yes,
excuse me.
Thank you very much. When the start of the new year hits and it's like, you know, it's dark at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
That's when you want to get somewhere nice. Shooting your bullet too early in October on your big long week-long vacation, I think you might end up regretting it.
Now, do I think people are going to do this? Yeah. Absolutely. Without a doubt. There are going to be some Packers and Badgers fans that do this.
People with more fungible funds than us.
Correct.
Brett and Eau Claire has them at 11-6. Joseph has them at 13-4. And on the text line, a couple of texts coming in. Jared in the 608 says, I just want to say I missed hearing Josh's laugh.
Hey, thanks, pal.
And then Daniel the Sloth chimes in.
Oh, haven't heard from him in forever.
It sounds like a 17-0 record is amongst us. Jason Wilde joins us next from Green Bay to break down all things green and gold schedule right here on the ESPN Wisconsin NFL schedule release special.
This is Madison's new home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
National semifinalist for the 6th time.
We're on Wisconsin Sports, 100.5 ESPN.
The biggest names in the basketball world.
Dame Dollar Lillard.
Having fun and honest conversations.
He puts it in the shoe, right? And sets the tone for brothers and sisters and family.
Every week, Thanasis Adetokounmpo sits down with special guests on Thanalysis Show. Presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel and curbless, ready-to-drink cocktails.
Fantastic.
Find Thanalysis Show on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And on YouTube by searching Thanalysis Show.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Transform your home with Ridgetop Exteriors. With over 22 years of service excellence, we specialize in roofing, siding, windows, doors, and gutters. Visit us today at ridgetopexteriors.com. That's ridgetopexteriors.com. Find your trusted, local, affordable partner here at Ridgetop Exteriors.
Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all.
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 Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
One call, that's all.
Hey, Drew Scott here, and I'm Jonathan Scott, reminding you that life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance. They can help you get just the right protection at just the right price and help you save when you bundle home and auto. Kind of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It'll be just right for you. We love a custom build. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
There's a good chance if you watch sports, you're getting served information about hormone optimization. What does that even mean? Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health can tell you exactly what hormone optimization means. He will take your blood work and let you know if it's right for you. If you're feeling sluggish, not losing weight like you used to, you're not gaining muscle like you used to, or you just don't feel like yourself in most aspects of your life, go see Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. In fact, sign up for the 6-week experience so you can see everything that Carbon World Health has to offer, including hormone optimization. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
An unsuspecting driver at a gas station in Wisconsin.
Welcome, Pump 15. How you doing?
Great.
Were you wearing your seatbelt today?
I never wear my seatbelt.
We're going to get him. We're going to get him real good.
Oh, my goodness.
Hello, sir. How you doing? Donald Driver. It takes 1 second to strap a seatbelt on. Well, let's do this. Let's do it together. Now, don't that feel better?
Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways.
And I should have recognized your voice when you're harassing.
I'm watching you.
Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. You can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Your District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Your District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
We're on Wisconsin sports like never before.
Sharing the love that all of us have for volleyball with everyone else is one of my favorite things.
The new home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball, 100.5 ESPN.
ESPN Wisconsin's NFL schedule release special alongside Gabe Neitzel, Josh DiMaggio, Alex Strofe with you from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All studios in the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. And if we have to make one call, you know who we're making it to break down.
David Gruber?
You just love killing momentum. That's your favorite thing to do.
You said one call.
Yeah, it's a Pavlovian
I
response.
said if we have one call to make to break down the Packers schedule.
Yeah, that's all.
I bet Jason agrees with me.
We call the 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, who you hear each and every weekday from 9 to noon. Alongside the Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher, it is our friend, our teammate, Jason Wilde. Jason, do you agree with Josh?
Great job, Josh, because if you wouldn't have said that, I was going to. So you nailed it.
You'll learn. I mean, you've only been in Milwaukee a couple of weeks. Here's Trophy.
All right, Jason, thanks for the time, buddy.
414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all.
And we make our one call to Jason Wilde. What's up, Jason? How are you?
Giddy. You guys sound giddy. You excited about the schedule? 17-0.
We're just having fun.
Yeah.
Three pals talking football on a Wednesday night, Jason.
Could be worse.
I'll tell you this, it's a fascinating schedule. I don't remember ever in my, this will be season 29 for me. I don't ever remember in all these years. I remember Ron Wolf getting pissed about having 3 straight road games. I remember him getting pissed about the Packers not having enough home games in December. I remember, the always looking at the schedule to see when, and Rodgers used to talk about this all the time, when do they play in Chicago? But I don't ever remember 4 straight weeks of primetime games. I don't think it's ever happened.
It's
obviously
wild.
There are more. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's more primetime opportunities than ever before. And in fact, the Packers included this in their release. I had mentioned it because I kind of pre-wrote the story after getting some schedule leaks. Instead of putting them on Twitter, I was trying to get my story written so I could file it as soon as possible to the State Journal after the schedule became official. But, first of all, all these games being in a row and back-to-back Thursday nights, to me that's fascinating. Remember back in 2015, I know you guys recall that they played back-to-back Thursdays. They played at home on Thanksgiving against the Bears and lost. And then they had the Hail Mary in Detroit to win. So that was a memorable back-to-back. And then the other time that I can recall on my watch of them playing back-to-back Thursdays was in 2007 when they played the early game on Thanksgiving in Detroit, beat the Lions there, and then a week later played the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas in prime time on Thursday Night Football. And, of course, Brett Favre got hurt. Aaron Rodgers came in and kind of announced that he was the future in a very, very loud voice with his performance against the Cowboys.
Jason, few different intricacies of the schedule. You mentioned one of them, obviously, the back-to-back-to-back-to-back primetime games. The gold package games are all divisional rivals this year for the Milwaukee crowd. They get the Vikings game, they get the Bears game, they get the Vikings game. Have you ever seen that before? I mean, obviously, with having 3 games, that's relatively new with the 9 home games. But all divisional games for the gold package this year. That's unique.
Yeah, it is. Again, it's week 2 and week 5 of it's game 2 and game 5 of the home schedule normally, and now obviously this year they get the 3rd game. I do think there's a couple important things because we obviously kicked up a hornet's nest today.
Sure did.
With our discussion of the gold package, and again, I say this as a former. I mean, it's my brother still has the tickets, but my grandparents bought those tickets in the 1940s, and if you're like Homer and you want to try and argue that Bob Harlan should not have he always used the phrase, brought the fans with them when they pulled out of Milwaukee and had all their games in Green Bay. I think it was the right decision to play all the games in Green Bay. I think it was the right decision to keep that Milwaukee crowd as part of the fabric of the organization and to appreciate what those fans did to help save the franchise. And that is not hyperbole. They helped save the franchise by there being games in Milwaukee starting in the 40s. That said, I also think it's important to note that when people are coming off the waiting list, and Stroh, if you're a Green Bay guy, so you know this, when people come off the waiting list now, they get the green package or the gold package. So if you've been on the waiting list since birth and you get the phone call, which I learned today, and I didn't know this, that you also get an $8,000 bill for getting off the waiting list. You could be a Green Bay resident, you could be an Ohio resident, you could be a Minnesota resident, and you could end up with the green or gold package. So those gold packages are no longer just, those are the people that were in Milwaukee at County Stadium. I mean, they moved out in 94. I mean, the last game at County Stadium is Favre, when he had been expressly told not to run by Mike Holmgren, runs in for the game-winning touchdown against his old team, the Atlanta Falcons, out in the outfield by the bullpen for the game-winning touchdown. So, look, I think that those fans are important. I don't, for me anyway, but I'm sitting in my, as Tausch likes to call it, ivory tower. I don't have a sense really for the fans, but I don't think there's a vast difference between green package fans and gold package fans. I think both groups being on offense. So I think it's really interesting that they got those 3 games. Usually they get one division game and one out of division game. I don't remember with all the noon starts, which I'm excited about because I love that omelet bar in the press box. I don't know how many of those gold package games. One obviously is not decided at all yet, the Chicago game in the finale. But are the other 2 noon starts for gold package fans?
No, the Minnesota game is a nooner, and then Detroit is a 3:25.
And obviously Chicago is TBD in Week 18.
Right, and last year, we got a fair amount of texts and calls this morning on this. Like, everybody was pissed because, so many Milwaukee fans, air quotes, sold their tickets to that Lions game last year. Well, it was a Thursday night. Like, I'm sorry, I'm no spring chicken anymore. If I was living in Milwaukee and I was going to those games as a fan, like driving back and being stuck in traffic on 43 coming back, I'm not surprised. So, that's one of the reasons why Bob Harlan was always so adamant and did everything he could to make sure that the NFL did not make Game 2 or Game 5 on their home slate a nighttime game.
The Packers play one division opponent in the first 8 games of the season. Do you think with the Jeff Hafley's new defense, do you find that uniquely beneficial or kind of a non-factor for the Packers heading into the season?
It's a good question. I just find it quirky.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of like last year, what I found to be weird. Now, they end the season the same exact way they did last year.
Yep.
At Minnesota, home against the Bears. But I thought it was so weird they played the Bears in the opener and in the finale. Like, I know that it's not completely unheard of, but that, what could happen in the intervening 15 weeks? You could be playing a completely different team. And quite frankly, while the Packers, crushed them in the opener, like, the Packers were a different team than they were in the first half of the season by the time the Bears saw them again. The Bears were, more or less the same team. So I do think it's interesting that they don't have that many division games. At the same time, like, I'm not sure that having only one division game in the first 8, it does do this. If it's going to come down to tiebreakers, if it's going to come down to head-to-head stuff for the season, and most of their division games are then in the second half of the season and after the bye.
Yeah, after the bye you mentioned the crazy stretch of all those primetime games, but that's when a lot of the big-time and marquee opponents happen as well, Jason. Chicago both times, at Detroit, San Francisco, Miami. It's not an easy back part of the schedule as they try to get ready for, what we are hoping and as, assuming a playoff run.
Yeah, and I can say iron sharpens iron, and you got to play those teams in the playoffs, so you might as well play them in the regular season and challenge yourself and all that kind of stuff. But no, I'd rather play teams that aren't very good. I guess I'd rather play good teams later in the year when I would hope that my team has gotten itself straightened out. What I think is interesting is, unless I counted wrong, only 7 out of the 17 games are against teams that made the playoffs last year, right? Mm-hmm. 2 against the Lions, and then obviously 5 others. Like, on paper, which is not where the games are played, this isn't like some overwhelmingly daunting schedule, right? Like, you've got the 49ers, who are the best team that you face, you've got at home, and the Eagles, who have been to the playoffs the last 3 years, and you're going to be jockeying for playoff position. You get them in a neutral site, in Brazil. So,
but again, Jason, San Francisco, Miami, Detroit, all playoff teams from a year ago, back to back to back. Uh-huh. And then you cap that off with, I know Seattle wasn't a playoff team a year ago. They were 2 seasons ago, and you have to go to Seattle. That, to me, is without a doubt the toughest stretch of schedule they have from late November into early December.
Yeah, you're right. And look, in fairness, 3 AFC teams didn't make the playoffs despite having a above 500 record, right? And the Colts are one of them. who they have in week 2, and they're going to have Anthony Richardson back, which, certainly their hope would be that getting their prized draft pick quarterback healthy after, what do you have, surgery after like 4 games last year?
Yeah, 4 or 5.
They're going to think they're a different team. And so, the problem, and I've always said this, so it's a little bit hypocritical of me to have made that 7 games against playoff teams statement, but the league does change from year to year, right? I always look back on 19, and I don't brag about many predictions because most of mine are wrong, but I did predict that the Packers would go to the playoffs in Matt LaFleur's first year, which was something that none of their Super Bowl winning coaches, not Lombardi, not Holmgren, not McCarthy, had done in their first year as the Packers coach. At the same time, I didn't have the guts to say they're going to be playing in the NFC Championship game with a chance to go to the Super Bowl in Matt LaFleur's first year. So, but they were a team that had gone, what were they, 6-9-1 in McCarthy / Philbin's year in 18?
Yep, correct.
And they ended up being a 13-3 team. So things change rapidly year to year with certain teams that didn't make the playoffs the previous year, the Packers being one of them from 22 to 23, end up being better the next year. So I'm really eager to see where the biggest challenges of this schedule end up being beyond that stretch, because I think we can all agree with Gabe that is, as the schedule comes out, the biggest challenging stretch. Whereas last year, it's probably worth pointing out that when the schedule came out, we didn't see them having the 4-game losing streak swoon in October when they lost to teams that I don't think you would have said, oh, they're going to lose all these games.
Totally.
When the schedule came out.
Totally. Jason, before we let you go, I just want to go back to what Joshy mentioned about the Packers schedule. It's much worse for the Bears. Their first divisional game is against the Packers in Week 11. Week 11, Week 12, Week 11, Week 12, Week 13, Week 15, Week 16, Week 18. All of the divisional games for the Bears. First divisional game is in Week 11. And the other 2 games in between that stretch, San Francisco, Seattle. That's a tough back half of the schedule for the Bears. Now the Vikings are going to be worse than that. But otherwise,
in fairness to them, though, your hope would be, because obviously I love the fact that they announced that Caleb Williams is going to be their starting quarterback.
We did talk about that earlier. Ridiculous.
Yeah. But on the bright side for them, at least, right? They're theoretically, he has gotten experience against lesser / non-divisional teams. And your hope is that by the time he gets into that back half of the schedule, he's no longer playing like a rookie either. So we'll have to wait and see.
We will have to wait and see. We'll listen to you beginning at 9 a.m. tomorrow on ESPN Wisconsin. Jason, thanks so much for the time as always, buddy.
All right, fellas. Take care. Be good.
That's your one call to Jason Wilde. There you have it. We'll wrap it up. Coming up next, it's ESPN Wisconsin's NFL schedule release special.
Like, share, and follow ESPN Madison everywhere. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for more great content from ESPN Madison. This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
This is going to be a summer like no other at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. We're giving away over $300,000 in cash and prizes in just 3 months in our Golden Summer Series. There's so much happening May through July. We're talking rollover jackpots, promo kiosk rewards, hot seat drawings, pick a prize, hot ticket drawings, and more. It all adds up to over $300,000 in cash and prizes, including grand prizes of $5,000, $10,000, and the chance for something even bigger. The Golden Summer Series means more ways to win at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Protect your dream home with American Family Insurance. And you can weather any storm. You'll also save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote. Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Stoughton Health, in collaboration with patient and family advisors, seeks to advance the healthcare experience at Stoughton Health by providing a forum for past patients and families to provide feedback on a variety of healthcare and other related topics. Advisors offer constructive feedback on their personal journey at Stoughton Health, helping to elevate the patient experience and increase satisfaction. Interested? Please call Amy at 608-873-2308.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
The second annual ESPN Madison Open, presented by Coors Light, is coming soon, and you can swing into the fun. Molly Brown here. Join us on Monday, August 5th at Bishops Bay Country Club and help raise money for the Miracle League of Dane County. Purchase a whole sponsorship, and you'll help provide adaptive equipment, uniforms, and a safe, inclusive environment where every child can thrive. Interested? Email ESPN Madison sales at goodkarmabrands.com. Sponsor a hole, donate, and make dreams come true with the Miracle League of Dane County, because every child deserves the chance to play ball.
ESPN Madison is serving up something new this fall.
Badgers bust into the national semifinals.
Unprecedented success.
Kelly Sheffield has put himself among the elite in the sport.
Unrivaled enthusiasm.
Every single night, 7,000 plus, and they are in your face. I'm hooked. I love Wisconsin Bucks.
Unrelenting determination.
You have the best players and the best coach. You like your chance.
A national semifinalist for the 6th time.
The new home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball. 100.5 ESPN.
Wrapping up the NFL schedule release special here on ESPN Wisconsin alongside Gabe Neitzel and Josh DiMaggio. I'm Alex Strofe with you. Right, I'm trying
so
to
funny.
Collect yourself.
Got a frog in my
Breathe.
throat. Please
Okay.
hold. Well, also I was looking
You
at
sure
the Packers.
it's not a toad?
Ribbit.
That was good. That was good. That was a good game. No, I'm looking at this Packers schedule. I tried to give it a second chance. They released a 4-minute video.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
It's really bad.
I feel like they put in more effort this year. I appreciate the effort that was put in. I just don't. I don't get the concept.
I don't either.
All these people are.
Is it
trying
American Idol? Like, is that what they're going for?
I think so. That all these people are trying out to be members of the pep rally. Again, they got some. Again, I mean, we knew that Barstool Big Cat was going to be in this video. You know, they get Lil Wayne.
How about our guy Rob Demovsky?
Yeah, Demo's in there, feeling miserably at kicking field goals. They get Aaron Andrews. They got some big names. Braun Strowman, former WWE champion, who's a huge Packers fan as well.
Lives in Wisconsin. Ran into him at a Shinedown concert last year. Not even a joke.
Yeah, he's got a place up in Dodge County.
I refuse to comment.
On Shinedown or WWE?
Shinedown.
What's wrong with Shinedown, Josh?
He's refusing comment. I don't know about refusing what he's refusing comment part you don't understand.
How else do you want me to say?
But so they got a lot of people to agree to be in this video. It just doesn't hit.
It was all star power, no substance.
Yeah.
Well said.
They put a lot into it. I applaud their effort. I, however, didn't find it all that amusing.
Well, one of my favorite team videos that was done last year, and it looks like I haven't watched it back, but it looks like they just ran it back again. The Titans just going out onto Broadway in Nashville.
They did the same thing.
Yeah, it looks like they did the same thing, which is a little disappointing because it was funny last year, probably less.
The Chargers are always out there too.
Where they show just a random person a logo, and the person has to identify the team name, and hilarity ensues.
The Chargers did The Sims this year. A video of The Sims. I haven't watched it, but people.
I know they did like an anime episode last year.
Yes, like a full-fledged one.
Yeah, they always break out the creativity.
There's a lot of effort that went into their video.
Will you guys spend the rest of the night looking at all those scheduled release videos? Because I do find them entertaining. I go through a ton of them every year.
I won't.
If one pops across my timeline.
Yeah, I'll probably end up watching the Chargers and the ones that people are
correct. The
ones
that people are talking about, will just repopulate them on my timeline. Like, I'm not going to go through all 32. People are already doing that for me. I don't have to worry about that.
Excuse me, Mr. Big Time over there.
Well, I'm just saying,
doesn't have time to watch schedule release videos.
I'm saying people on my timeline.
I will be up until 1 a.m. and I will watch all 32 and I will report back.
That's insane.
I will come back tomorrow. 2 p.m.
With a power ranking
Kyle Bruston Nortman
of all 32.
You got it. And I guarantee to you, the Packers will be 28 or lower. It was pretty darn bad.
I want on Mr. Irrelevant, you have to run through all 32 and how you rank them. If you're going to commit to this, I want to see it play.
So I have until Friday then?
Yeah, you have until Friday, till the next Mr. Irrelevant. You got to rank all 32 best.
With a letter grade or a star rating? How you doing it?
No, 32 up to 1.
Yeah, 32 to 1.
You can give out individual grades for each one.
Well, Joshie DiMaggio will make the rare double appearance on Mr. Irrelevant. Gabe Neitzel will join me as well on Friday's edition, 12:30 ESPN Madison, ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channel.
I don't know. It looks like I am.
And we will be breaking down the NFL schedule release videos together. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight on ESPN Wisconsin, breaking down the Packers schedule. I recommend going to watch the schedule release video, although I don't think it's very good, but you are allowed to draw your own conclusions. Packers schedule, it's fun. And we have them all, or all three of us have them at 12 and 5. You've got NBA basketball coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin. Game number 5 of a tied series between the Dallas Mavericks and the Oklahoma City Thunder. That game at Chesapeake Bay Arena in Loud City. For Gabe Neitzel, Josh DiMaggio, Chris Larson, Kyle Russo, I'm Alex Strove saying goodnight. We'll talk to you tomorrow on Jen, Gabe, and Cheers.
Transform your home with Ridgetop Exteriors. With over 22 years of service excellence, we specialize in roofing, siding, windows, doors, and gutters. Visit us today at ridgetopexteriors.com. That's ridgetopexteriors.com. Find your trusted, local, affordable partner here at Ridgetop Exteriors.
You ever have one of those days when you just couldn't come up with the right answer? Well, I know one answer that pretty much solves all problems. Ice cream. Yeah, it's the answer to everything, right? And right now, at Quick Trip, our rich, creamy, straight from our dairy, Nature's Touch 1-gallon pails of ice cream are just $4.99. Yeah, now that's an answer worth digging into. Come on, be a problem solver. Bring home some fresh, delicious Nature's Touch ice cream, only from Quick Trip.
As you're putting your spring calendar together, we'd love to have you join us Saturday, May 18th for Mark Osiki's 6th annual Casting for Kids Fishing Tournament to support the American Family Children's Hospital, UW Carbone Cancer Center. We're on the Madison Chain of Lakes early, then back at the Alliant Energy Center for 2:30 happy hour, dinner, and live and silent auctions with cool autographed hockey items, guided tours, and a brand new fishing boat. There's even more on our website, castingforkids.org. Help us help the kids, castingforkids.org.
I've been here for about 3 years, been a team lead since 3 months. I love the company. It's a fun place to work. It always keeps you busy every single day. Right off the bat, I told them I wanted a career here. Sure enough, after 3 months, I got promoted. You just got to make sure that you have the ambition to get there. I can one day see my kid and say, hey, look, I built that trailer. My name is Gabriel, and I am incredibly proud to be part of Stoughton Trailers.
Stoughton Trailers, big opportunity.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Time now for a
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Rutledge and Hamilton every Thursday, and we will let you know where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes. To celebrate our love for dive bars, me and Matt are going to tell you about some of our favorites, featuring one extra special dive bar that will have $2 High Lifes on special for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin, like Villa Tap, Argus Bar and Grill, Dots Tavern, and Scotty Bar.
Answered again!
Now, with the latest news, notes, and scores, this is NBA Countdown on ESPN Radio. Here's Kevin Winter.
2 Game 5s tonight. The only series here in round 2 that could be closed out in 5 games between the Celtics and the Cavaliers. And Cleveland is playing without Donovan Mitchell again, without Jarrett Allen again, and without Karis LeVert. So you'd expect them to be being blown out by Boston, right? Wrong. Only a 7-point game at the half.
Jalen cross half court, finds Derek White straight away. Now Tatum, clean look, right side, 3 in the air, no good. Rebound, Al chasing it down, has another one. Finds Tatum all alone under the basket for the easy 2.
Boy, old man's come to play. He wants some rest.
The 80-year-old Al Horford, he said facetiously, is the only one out there showing the kids how to close a series out. Al Horford has had a monster game for Boston, 14 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks. The lead is 8. It was largest was 12, but Cleveland has hung around. They're keeping in touch. 93-87, down to a 6-point game. We'll bring in Tim Legler coming up as we welcome you inside our Granger studio on NBA Countdown, presented by SoFi here on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. I'm Kevin Winter. SoFi, the official bank of the NBA. There is 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter in Boston. And as I mentioned, Al Horford, he's extended the lead to 9 for the Celtics, 96-87. They try to close this out. Meanwhile, our Game 5 tonight is in Oklahoma City, where the Thunder and the Mavericks have their series tied at 2, thanks to SGA and the Thunder and their ability in the second half on Monday night in Dallas.
Feeds up top to Joe, back to Shea, off the stutter step. 30 feet away, 8 to shoot. Drives through defenders, floats it up off the backboard, and knocks down a tough 13-footer. My goodness. Shea became Houdini there. Lofted and stuck it off the window. He has 18 now. Only Thunder score in doubles. Makes it a 7-point game.
Matt Pinto, WWLS. SGA scored 34 in Game 4. More importantly, the Thunder outscored the Mavericks 22-15 in the third, then 35-27 in the fourth, and they roar back from down 14, and they stun Dallas 100-96. So a best of 7 is now down to a best of 3. With more on tonight's Game 5, we go to Paycom Center in Oklahoma City and join our broadcast team alongside Kalena Azubuike. Here's Mike Cousins.
Kevin, thank you very much. So much changed in that fourth quarter, and the stars for the Mavericks did not play to the best of their ability. Luka Doncic, 2 of 5. Kyrie Irving, 1 of 5 from the floor. That's been a bit of a constant here in this series, Kalena, is that those two guys average 60 points a game during the regular season. And here in this series, averaging just 37, Oklahoma City has found a way to put the clamps on the stars for Dallas.
It's been interesting. We do know Luka is not all the way healthy. His whole body hurts, it looks like at times. He's grabbing knees, ankles. So they hope he plays well. But I do think as a team, they can make a little bit of an adjustment when it comes to Kyrie. Obviously, he's seen a bunch of double teams. They're both seeing a bunch of double teams. But even if he has to give and go, get off of it, we talked to Coach Kidd, and he's thinking about that. Maybe go ISO with Luka, maybe more in the post. Just free those guys up a little more. We know Kyrie's doing everything else, but I don't think it's super sustainable, especially if they want to win this series and maybe win the next series and go on to have some of the others. PJ Washington's played amazing. He's led them in scoring 3 straight games, but I don't think that's a sustainable way for them to play. They need Kyrie to also be the scoring Kyrie as well as the facilitator and defender that he's been. He's pretty much done it all, and it's a feel-out thing for him, but I do think he can start the game a little more aggressive, even if they're just double-teaming him and showing him a lot of bodies. And on the other side, you may see them double-team SGA a little more aggressively, try to make someone else beat him, especially if other guys aren't shooting the ball as well. Like Coach Kidd said everybody else isn't scoring as much, which is what they want. But if other guys aren't shooting as well and they're not as efficient, especially in the fourth quarter, see if someone else can beat you, because SGA has proven he will beat you.
And as we're going to hear coming up from Mark Daignault, the Thunder head coach as well, despite being the best three-point shooting team percentage-wise in the NBA this year, he said Dallas is forcing them to evolve to find better ways to put pressure at the rim.
I think one way they can get more pressure at the rim a little more efficiently is just a little more ball movement. During the season, I thought they moved a little more. They're going a little more one-on-one at times, getting a little more stagnant at times on the offensive side, and then just getting out in transition. I know in the playoffs things can slow down. You're having to go half court a little more with your offense, but any opportunity you get just to get a stop, get out and run, see if you can beat some of the rim protectors down the floor, which is easier said than done with Dallas because it's Derek Jones Jr., it's Lively, it's Gafford. They got multiple guys that are rim protecting, but OKC has rim protectors of their own, but I think that's one thing they can do a little better. And then SGA has shown he can live in the mid-range. Maybe other guys can start to think about, okay, maybe I go with my in-between game, maybe a few more floaters. But if you are going all the way to the rim, the 13 blocks last game, you got to make sure you jump into the shot blockers, don't avoid contact, get a little craftier. I think Jalen Williams will probably do that better this game.
Big one tonight because teams that go up 3-2 in a best-of-7 series go on to win 82% of the time. Game 5, Thunder Mavericks coming up, Kevin.
Mike Cousins, Kalena Azubuike with our hot ticket brought to you by Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN. Get great deals on the hottest tickets. Experience it live. Thunder, 4.5-point favorites. Your total tonight, according to the ESPN bet, sitting at 212.5. We welcome in ESPN NBA analyst Tim Legler, who joins us tonight. Legs, let's stay with our series very quickly. I saw you on PTI this afternoon. Is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander trying to be the father of the mid-range game once again?
Yeah, he is. Look, listen, he's a unique player. He operates in the middle of the floor. It's really hard to operate in. There haven't been a ton of guys that have had as much success and as efficiently as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in that area of the floor. And look, it took every one of those mid-range jumpers in Game 4 to get that win. He made some big-time shots in the fourth quarter of that game and just thoroughly outplayed the two stars of the Dallas Mavericks. And I think that was the difference in that game. And give Oklahoma City credit, but Dallas has to look at themselves and look in the mirror. And Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic have to be better. It's that simple. You can't have a situation, Kevin, where you've got Derek Jones and P.J. Washington taking as many shots combined as Luka and Kyrie, or Chet Holmgren and Lou Dort making more field goals than Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. You just can't. That's a formula for disaster for them because they've got the ball too much. And they're too good. Now, Luka, I know, is a little bit banged up, so maybe he's got a little bit of an excuse. But Kyrie Irving doesn't have one, and he was really non-existent offensively in the last game. So let's see what they bring tonight because their season could be on the line.
Tipping Game 5 comes up inside a half hour from now from Paycom Center in Oklahoma City. Tim Legler, let's go to the Celtics, and they are now up 14 on the Cleveland Cavaliers in a potential closeout game. Besides the fact that Boston has 90-year-old Al Horford playing, what else are you seeing in this game where Boston has struggled mightily but is now has a 14-point lead?
Yeah, they finally have taken control. They've gotten some separation. It looks like they're gonna get this thing done now. But it was kind of dicey for a while in the second half. I give Cleveland a lot of credit. Marcus Morris Sr. has had an incredible night for a guy that hasn't been playing. Really hurt the Celtics tonight. But this was more to me about Boston. Their uncertainty offensively. They were definitely not moving very well offensively, and they didn't look sure of themselves until this first year where they've got separation here with 6 minutes to go. They're up 14. But I thought most of the second half they just did not look like they had an identity offensively. So Celtics, I think, are just one of those teams that we're going to have a difficult time gauging until they play a team that we believe could really challenge them, because that has not been the case with Miami or Cleveland. No matter how hard they have played, we know that they're shorthanded. They don't have enough firepower, and the Boston Celtics were not going to be at any point in danger of losing the series. I don't know that they will be in the next round either, but I think the test is going to be significantly greater, whether it's the Knicks or the Pacers. So I think for now, I'm sort of reserving judgment on the Boston Celtics because that does put you in a different mindset, desperation. It's something they haven't felt yet.
Tim Legler, ESPN NBA analyst, joining us here at NBA Countdown, presented by SoFi. Let's go to our player resume, brought to you by Indeed. When you need to hire, Indeed.com/credit. Legs, what have Joker and the rest of his Nuggets teammates found following games 1 and 2 against Minnesota, where the Timberwolves won on their own home court?
I think the biggest turnaround for me is they've got the defensive pressure off of them, and the main way that they did that was by doing a better job screening. And I talked to Michael Malone about this before Game 3, and he agreed. When I was watching on tape in the first 2 games, they weren't screening. So that these defenders, these quick athletic defenders like Jaden McDaniels and Anthony Edwards and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Mike Conley, these guys were getting through all those gaps on dribble handoffs and ball screens. So when Jamal Murray was coming off or KCP was coming off or whoever, Michael Porter Jr., whoever was coming off, there was no space for them to operate once they came off. I think part of that also had to do with Jamal Murray, his calf bothering him more in the first couple games. He seemed to have a different level of burst and acceleration in Game 3, and it allowed their offense to get moving. But the screening was better, and they've allowed different people to handle the ball coming up the floor, which has alleviated some pressure, whether it's Jokic or Aaron Gordon. Different guys have handled it to take some of that pressure of their on-ball defenders off of them. They're getting into their sets quicker, Kevin, and as a result, Minnesota's been back on their heels a little bit, and that's a big part of their identity. They suffocated them in Game 2 in particular. That has not been the case in the last 3 games. And if you're not going to be affecting them with pressure, the Denver Nuggets are going to carve you up. This is the best executing team in the NBA in the half court.
Legs.
And you've seen that on display here in the last 3.
We have Legs. We got Game 6 coming up tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We'll start our coverage here on ESPN Radio. By the way, 9-point game in Boston, 5 minutes to go. Unreal. Great stuff, buddy. We'll catch you on SportsCenter. Appreciate it.
All right, Kev, you got it.
ESPN NBA analyst Tim Legler joining us here on NBA Countdown. Coming up next, as we get you set for Game 5 between the Thunder and the Dallas Mavericks, how much pain is Luka Doncic playing in? We'll bring in our Mavericks insider coming up next. You're listening to the NBA Playoffs on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
It's all about the green and gold and nonsense on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
It was a beautiful thing right there. You connected with Goody, eye to eye, man to man.
Yeah, I want Goody to know that I care about him.
Chop that up, send it to the Packers.
Send it to him. Let him know the dread-headed brother loves the Green Bay Packers. When you see me, Goody, let me in the box.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Presented by Bud Light. Weekdays from 2 till 4 on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
There's a good chance if you watch sports, you're getting served information about hormone optimization. What does that even mean? Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health can tell you exactly what hormone optimization means. He will take your blood work and let you know if it's right for you. If you're feeling sluggish, not losing weight like you used to, you're not gaining muscle like you used to, or you just don't feel like yourself in most aspects of your life, go see Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. In fact, sign up for the 6-week experience so you can see everything that Carbon World Health has to offer, including hormone optimization. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
It's all about the green and gold and nonsense on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
It was a beautiful thing right there. You connected with Goody, eye to eye, man to man.
Yeah, I want Goody to know that I care about him.
Chop that up, send it to the Packers.
Send it to him. Let him know the dread-headed brother loves the Green Bay Packers. When you see me, Goody, let me in the box.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Presented by Bud Light. Weekdays from 2 till 4 on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Are you in need of expert exterior renovations? Look no further than Ridgetop Exteriors. For over 22 years, we've been the trusted name in roofing, siding, windows, doors, and gutter replacements. With a track record of excellence on our Google reviews, we take pride in transforming houses into dream homes. Visit us today at ridgetopexteriors.com for a free consultation. That's ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, your trusted local affordable partners.
My name is Rob, and I was seriously injured. When I think of Gruber Law Offices, I think of an honest, hard-working team who will fight to represent you. Couldn't be happier with the call that I made that day.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Protect your dream home with American Family Insurance.
and you can weather any storm. You'll also save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote. Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Rutledge and Hamilton every Thursday, and we will let you know where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes. To celebrate our love for dive bars, me and Matt are going to tell you about some of our favorites, featuring one extra special dive bar that will have $2 High Lifes on special for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin, like Villa Tap, Argus Bar and Grill, Dots Tavern, and Scotty Bar.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
United Football League. Week 8 of the UFL. Houston at Birmingham. Saturday at 8 Eastern on ESPN2. Then Sunday, it's DC versus St. Louis at noon on ABC. This is the NBA Playoffs on ESPN Radio.
From inside our Grainger studio, I'm Kevin Winter. 14-point game in Boston with 2 minutes to go. Grainger with supplies and solutions for every industry. Grainger has the right product for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. It's NBA Countdown presented by SoFi. That game in Boston is potential closeout. Not the case with our matchup. Thunder and the Mavericks. You go back to Paycom Center. Welcome in our series insider, ESPN's Tim McMahon. Tim, I know Luka's never going to tell you, so you're going to have to do some deductive reasoning on this. How much pain is Luka Doncic playing through for the Mavericks?
Yeah, he was asked how he felt physically after the last game, and he answered with one word: great. It was not a convincing one-word answer. He's tired of talking about it. The knee is going to be sore and stiff for as long as the Mavericks are playing this season. He said that. He's dealing with a sore left ankle. And then he's got a massive pain in his butt named Lou Dort. And look, my point is this. Yes, Luka is banged up. He is not 100%. But let's not diminish the job that Lou Dort and the Thunder have done defensively against not only Luka Doncic but Kyrie Irving. Honestly, it's pretty remarkable that the series is tied 2-2, considering that Luka and Kyrie are combining to average for 37 points, which is a decent game for Luka under normal circumstances. Obviously, P.J. Washington has had some huge performances and taking advantage of opportunities presented by them loading up against those guys. But Luka's not 100%, and this is a tough team to not be 100% against.
It really is. With that being said, how much more are the Mavericks going to need out of Kyrie Irving? Because 9 points in a game, I know they won game 2 like that, but that's got to be an anomaly because it can't happen often.
It's a tough formula, and Kyrie has said, every time he comes off the screen, he's seeing 3 guys in front of him. They're forcing him to play in a crowd. He's trying not to force things, trying not to take quote-unquote bad shots. But, for him to have 2 games in single digits, and he's had only 1 playoff game under 10 points in his entire career before this series, is frankly pretty stunning. And again, Jalen Williams, Casey Wallace, those guys have been great as the primary defenders on him. They're loading up against him, but at a certain point, the Mavericks probably need Kyrie to seize control, especially if Luka's not capable of being himself right now.
Our series insider, ESPN's Tim McMahon, joining us here on NBA Countdown, presented by SoFi. Game 5 series tied 2-2. Tip comes your way just about 20 minutes from now. Tim, I know SGA and company kind of lit up the Mavericks in Game 4, and SGA was trusting his teammates. What's the plan for Dallas against SGA tonight?
I mean, really, the plan is this. You try to make him take tough shots. Sometimes he's going to make them. That's just the way it goes. Now, will they maybe try to throw an extra body at him early in possessions, force the ball out of his hands? I think that's something they're going to have to be selective with, try to keep him from getting in a rhythm. Frankly, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because the Thunder did finally change their starting lineup after getting off the slow start after slow start. Josh Giddey will come off the bench for the first time in his career. And Isaiah Joe is going to be in the starting lineup. And obviously, Isaiah Joe is not a guy that you want to give good looks from the three-point line. So the spacing in that Thunder starting lineup is going to be much better than it has been so far this series.
Tim, great stuff. I guarantee we'll be talking again, whether it's in Game 6 or, could we go 7 for this. Going to be appreciated. Thanks, buddy.
I appreciate it.
All right, Tim McMahon, ESPN, NBA Insider, Mavericks, and the Thunder. Game 5 coming up short time ago. Mike Cousins, Kalena Azubuike with OKC head coach Mark Daigneault.
Kevin, thank you so much. Let's briefly revisit Monday because the numbers that your team shot, you shoot 38% from the field, 26% from three. The last 17 times that's happened in an NBA playoff game, the team has lost. Your team won. What was the difference?
I mean, obviously our defense, to shoot like that and to win the game, we defended really well. We did get it going in the fourth, which was important because we were playing in a deficit. But, we defended in an outstanding fashion and really have throughout all the games, even in the losses. Our half-court defense has kind of been where we need it to be. And so the guys are doing a great job of executing the plan with great focus and energy. And now we're trying to put it all together. We have to keep the defensive intensity, obviously, against a hungry opponent tonight, and hoping to create some more offensive rhythm.
And to follow that up, the 38% from the field shooting, is there anything you feel like you guys can do better as a team to help guys shoot it more efficiently, more consistently, other than SGA who got it going?
Yeah, a lot of it's rim attempts. Dallas has done a great job. We've all season been a team that can put rim pressure on the opponent and build the offense out from there. And they've done some unique things to try to deter that. They have two guys that are great rim protectors that are hard to move around. They're mobile, and they really sniff the ball. And so it's really tested us. We do think we've found some stuff that we can go to, but it's forcing us to evolve, which is good for us at this stage.
And you talked about your defense. You've shown Luka and Kyrie a lot of bodies when they've had the ball. Do you anticipate any adjustments that they may make? Like most people would say they probably don't want to see Kyrie only score 9 points, even though he's doing everything else well.
Yeah, I mean, no, he's taking what the defense gives him. I give him credit for his patience and how he's playing and the trust he's showing his teammates. We're trying to mix the looks just like they are. I would imagine, they're going to try to do everything possible to kind of free those guys up, as we try to do with Shea and Jalen, Chet. So I'm sure they're at the drawing board. We'll see what happens and go out there and play the best we can.
And lastly, another one on defense. Cason Wallace, as a rookie here in the postseason, his opponents are shooting 26% when he's the primary defender. The leap from college to the NBA is not easy, but what has made it a successful transition for him, especially on defense?
Yeah, it's kind of who he is. He's from day one. He started our first preseason game because Shea was out. So from day one, he showed an ability to get his way on the court because he's very consistent, reliable, competitive, hard-playing, team-oriented. He's got great stock in terms of those things. So then it's just been a matter of him learning the pictures and the game in the NBA, which he's done a great job of this season. So we obviously trust him as much as anybody, and he's done a great job in this series. This is a great matchup for him.
Marks, thanks so much for the time. Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Kevin, back to you.
All right, Mike Cousins, Mark Daigneault, and also Kalena Azubuike. Tip coming up, game number 5 for the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Dallas Mavericks. Tip comes your way from OKC just about 20 minutes from now. Coming up next, in fact, before we do anything, matter of fact, let's get more in our series. Andre Snelling's ESPN sports betting analyst with the Snell of money for our game tonight.
Professor Picks. Mavericks and Thunder under 212.5 points. 3 of the 4 games in this series have been under this mark, with the one exception, the 229 combined in Game 2. With Luka Doncic physically ailing and Lu Dort's defense, the Mavericks' leading point generator has been slowed and the entire team offense has suffered. On the other side of the ball, the Mavericks have played elite defense since trading for 2 starting big men at the trade deadline, and that defense has ratcheted up in the playoffs. Games 3 and 4 of this series averaged 201 combined points scored, and I look for another low-scoring game tonight.
Here comes the money. Andre Snelling's ESPN sports betting analyst under the total according to ESPN Bet. Coming up next, we send you out to Oklahoma City for Game 5. We also look back as Boston has moved on to the conference finals. They take care of the Mavericks in 5. This is the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Biana's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I need directions for paying down debt.
Starting route. Apply for a SoFi personal loan and consolidate your debt into one fixed payment. Turn right into a positive outlook and get $5,000 to $100,000 as soon as the same day you sign, with no fees required.
Got it. You could get out of high-interest credit card debt with a SoFi personal loan. View your rate at SoFi.com/debt in 60 seconds with no impact to your credit score. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions at SoFi.com/debt. NMLS 696891.
With T-Mobile, you can get tons of benefits and still save, because nobody likes having to choose. It's like getting romance and sci-fi.
I love you. Also, I'm a robot.
At T-Mobile, you can get the benefits you want and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. See how with our savings calculator at T-Mobile.com/switch. Plus, switch and keep your phone. We'll pay it off up to $800.
Via virtual prepaid card in 15 days. Qualifying unlocked device credit service and timely redemption required. Card has no cash access and expires in 6 months. See T-Mobile.com.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? SafeStep walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. SafeStep walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. SafeStep walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. SafeStep walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
We expect our information in real time. U.S. Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. U.S. Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
The NBA playoffs are here, and we all know playoff mode is a thing. Listen to the evidence. Playoff crowds are going wild. Playoff players are lighting up the court. Even your speakers are in playoff mode. Okay, we'll take it down a notch, but just a notch, because this is the Turn It Up to 11 NBA playoffs. Playoff mode is clearly a thing.
This is what you love about playoff basketball.
The NBA playoffs presented by Google Pixel continue on ABC, ESPN, and TNT.
The NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio.
Kevin Oyster with you. We got you out to Oklahoma City coming up. Short time ago, Mike Cousins, Kalena Azubuike with Mavericks head coach Jason Kidd before Game 5 of the series tied 2-2.
Kevin, thank you very much. Jason, I want to talk about Kyrie Irving first. He's understandably faced a lot of defensive attention in this series, scoring down a little bit, assists up. How do you feel like he's faced that extra pressure here in these games?
Yeah, I think he's done a really good job of being a quarterback, understanding that he's going to see double teams. He'll see the tilt. He's finding the open guy. He's trying to make the game as simple and as easy as possible for his teammates. Everybody's asking him to score a little bit more. Hopefully he can do that tonight, but we want the game just to come to him. We don't want him to force anything, and I think, again, he's playing on both ends. Defensively, he's playing at a high level for us, and on the offensive end.
What have the talks been like with both those guys, Kyrie and Luka, when it comes to double teams? Like, is there anything you want them to do as far as hit and maybe get it back, or maybe go more ISO, so a second defender, it's tougher for them to come? Like, what are the talks with them go like?
That's a great question. When you talk about Kai with his speed, we can look at the pitch and run. being able to set up the double team where he can throw to a teammate and then chase it, which is hard to double team. Some DHOs, putting the 5 in it, looking at different places on the floor where he can have more space. With Luka is a little different when you look at being able to get him in the post a little bit more. With the tilt, understand they're not coming to double team, so we got to take advantage there.
That is Jason Kidd with Mike Cousins, Kelenna Azubuike, Game 5. Thunder and Mavericks series tied at 2 coming up earlier tonight in Game 5 in Boston.
Jalen turns the corner, attacks, kick out, Holiday touches to Horford, half fitting with this big. A straightaway 3 for Al Horford, his 6th of the night in a virtuoso performance for number 42.
The old man carried Boston to the win. Sean Grande, Cedric Maxwell, 98.5 The Sports Hub. No Donovan Mitchell, no Karis LeVert, no Jared Allen. It still was not easy. This Cavalier team was pretty game tonight. Final score, Boston wins 113-98. In case you were interested, the game closed at 15.5. Boston wins by 15. Celtics are on to the conference finals for the 3rd straight year for the 6th time in 8 years. And it means we can officially tell you on Friday night, we will bring you coverage of Game 6 in Indianapolis between the Pacers and the New York Knicks. Coverage starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's Friday. Tomorrow night, we're in Minneapolis for Game 6 between the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Tonight, we have Game 5. Lots of games going on. Game 5 for the Thunder and the Mavericks series tied at 2 the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio, presented by Indeed. Hiring this year, visit Indeed.com/credit. We send you to Paycom Center. Who goes up 3-2 with Kelenna Azubuike? Here's Mike Cousins.
Thank you so much, Kevin. The lights are up here as the starting lineups are about to get introduced, and just about every fan in this building wearing the blue T-shirt that was laid on their seat back tonight. Very much a crowd that wants to see Oklahoma City take a 3-2 lead, and teams that do go up 3-2 go on to win these best-of-7 series 82% of the time. So, Kelenna, we're expecting to see a lot of tactical adjustments here, X's and O's wise, but the biggest one to start with is in the starting lineup for Oklahoma City. Mark Daigneault has been asked about it after every game. Josh Giddey, he's not playing a lot in the second half. Are you going to change the lineup? He says, I don't talk about lineups. Tonight, the lineup speaks for itself. Josh Giddey started 218 games in his career. All of them, he is out of the starting lineup tonight in favor of Isaiah Joe. What do you read into that move?
Oh, we could see that coming. Isaiah Joe, he brings the shooting ability, defensive ability. It makes sense. And in this series, it's been established that both teams can defend. But I want to see who finds that offensive flow first. Who can find their rhythm offensively? For Dallas, you think about, okay, how is Kyrie Irving going to start this game? Is he going to be aggressive from the start? Can you get creative offensively? The give and goes, maybe ISO him so one defender can be on him, and it's tough to bring that second defender. And then are they going to get it to P.J. Washington early on? He's been the leading scorer for them the last 3 games. Lucas talked about how much he wants to get him the ball early. Can you run some cross screens for him, get him the ball in the post, kick it out for his threes? On the other side for OKC offensively, are you going to get the ball movement? Find that flow that way. Move it from side to side, create more long closeouts instead of going a bunch of ISO and one-on-one. We know Shai Gilgeous-Alexander can score in the mid-range. Can everybody else maybe get to the mid-range, the in-between game, the floaters? Because 13 block shots for the Mavs last game is wild. So there's going to be some adjustments made on the offensive side for OKC for sure.
A mid-range masterpiece last game for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He shot 10 of 14 on 2-point field goals, not in the paint. He was getting it from everywhere he wanted to. And after Dallas defended really well in the first half, really through 3 quarters, they limited Oklahoma City to 43 points in the first half, and then the Thunder exploded for 35 in the fourth quarter and picked up the win 100-96. The 18th double-digit come-from-behind victory this year for Oklahoma City, most in the NBA. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. The number 5 seed Dallas Mavericks, led by Jason Kidd in his 3rd year and his 8th season overall as an NBA head coach. He's won a title as a player with the Mavericks and as an assistant coach in 2020 with the Lakers. Luka Doncic coming off of his 5th career playoff triple-double, 18 points for him on Monday night. Ironically, the Mavericks are 2-3 when Luka Doncic records a triple-double. Joining him in the backcourt, Kyrie Irving, averaging 15 points a game in this series, which is 11 lower than his season average. In the front court, Derek Jones, a primary defender on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, scored 17 points on Monday. P.J. Washington, as Kalena mentioned, has been their leading scorer the last 3 games. Monday night, 21 points, 12 rebounds. And their center, Daniel Gafford, 6'10", 234 pounds, provides quite a 1-2 punch in the front court at the 5 spot, along with Derek Lively. On the other side for Oklahoma City, the #1 seed in the Western Conference, their head coach, Mark Daigneault, the NBA Coach of the Year at just 39 years old. His lineup looks like this. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the 2nd leading scorer in the NBA, only trailing Luka Doncic during the regular season, has averaged 32 points a game in this series. Isaiah Joe, his 2nd start of the season, putting Josh Giddey out of the starting lineup after 218 consecutive starts to begin his career. Luguentz Dort in the front court. Mark Daigneault has called him a wall on wheels. He has been Luka Doncic's tormentor through the first 4 games of this series. Jalen Williams in the front court as well. That's the 2nd-year player out of Santa Clara. 43% three-point shooter during the regular season. Good for 9th best in the NBA. And at center, Chet Holmgren, former 2nd overall pick, had 4 blocks on Monday. Does a great job limiting opportunities at the rim. Oklahoma City today, dark blue uniforms with an orange and yellow stripe down the side that encircles the shorts. OKC written in a rising diagonal orange font along the front. Numbers in yellow on the back, and their names uncharacteristically for jerseys below those numbers in orange. For Dallas, it's road white jerseys today with a dark blue stripe around the waist, and across the front of that jersey it reads Dallas in dark blue, names and numbers on the back in dark blue. Our officials today, the crew chief is James Capers in his 29th season as an NBA official, joined by Courtney Kirkland in his 24th year and Kevin Scott in his 13th. Daniel Gafford at center circle along with Chet Holmgren for the opening tip. The ball is up and into the backcourt left, into the hands of P.J. Washington, and he initiates the offense for Dallas into the front court right as every fan here in the arena at Paycom Center stands on their feet. Irving on the right side, free throw line, bounces outside. Washington gets it back, top of the key, guarded by Joe. 3 dribbles left, fade away left of the lane, off the glass and no good, and down waist high for Holmgren.
Right off the bat, quick ISO for Kyrie Irving, wanting him to be aggressive early.
Gilgeous-Alexander with a bounce feed into the lane, looking for Lou Dort, and immediately a foul is called on Derek Jones of Dallas, his first and the team's first. Comes 11:33 here in the first quarter. No score. Oklahoma City with the ball, front court left.
So SGA knows he's going to get his, but he's exploiting those switches there. That's why he gave it up, and you force a quick foul on the Mavs.
Beg your pardon, that was P.J. Washington, not Derek Jones, charged for the Dallas foul. Into Gilgeous-Alexander between the circles. One-handed pass to the free throw line, intercepted, and it's Dallas from left to right. Doncic to the basket. Left block fadeaway. Off glass for 2, and Dallas is on the board first. 2-0 Mavericks.
Well, either of these teams, if they can get down and score before the defense is set, good on them, and that's what the Mavs did. 2 stayed up, but they're able to get back and get that steal.
How much will they be able to do that with Doncic playing not at 100%? Top of the key 3, and it's good. That goes down for Chet Holmgren, the 7'1" center who shot 37% from 3 during the season. 3-2 Oklahoma City here in Game 5. Right wing, Washington open for 3. It's off the side iron, no good. Offensive board goes to Kyrie Irving. And a whistle as Irving went up to get the rebound. And he's called for a ward-off with the arm as he knocked an Oklahoma City player to the ground. So that's first on Irving, second against Dallas in the first quarter.
Jalen Williams was there. Both of these teams during the regular season struggled the defensive rebound. If anyone can get to the offensive boards, that'll help.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander, front court left between the circles. Behind the back pass, left wing. That goes for Holmgren at the free throw line, and they kick it out right angle. Gilgeous-Alexander drives, sends it left corner. 3 is up from Joe, and that is good. 2 triples to start for OKC, and they lead it 6-2.
And that's why he's in the starting lineup. They know they're going to load up on SGA, all the pressure, and all of it inside with him. You just kick it out and get the shot.
Doncic's 15-foot fadeaway is short off the front rim. Joe comes down with the Oklahoma City rebound, and they quickly push into the front court left with a 6-2 lead. 10-10 to go first quarter. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander guarded by Gafford. That's a mismatch. Drive to the rim, and he jams it with the right hand.
That was a blow-by. Gafford had no shot staying with him.
It is loud here in this building. 8-2 Oklahoma City. Inside 10 minutes to go in the first quarter. Mavericks 1 of 4 from the floor. Doncic right of the lane. Overhead pass to the left corner. That's a three. Derek Jones, and he knocks it down. They left him wide open. 8-5 Thunder.
Well, same kind of thing. They collapsed. Three guys all paying attention to Luka. Wide open shot.
But how can you not collapse on Luka Doncic?
That's what you do, but you don't want to overhelp, though. Two guys is fine.
Gilgeous-Alexander from left of the lane. Kicks it right. Dort with a three. Rattles halfway down and out. Offensive rebound. SGA from the left angle. Keeps his left-handed dribble alive as he gets to the free throw line extended. Gets past Washington in the lane. Lofts it far to the corner. Tip pass Joe. Finds Dort right angle. A three-pointer off the rim. No. Offensive rebound Williams. And back to Dort. 10 on the timer. 9-10 to go first quarter. Thunder by 3. Joe left wing. Shot fake to the elbow. Gives it for Holmgren. Tries to jam on Gafford and gets turned away. 5-on-4 Mavericks coming up the floor. Left to right. Chance to tie it. Washington at the free throw line. Gets tripped up by Joe on the dribble. And that's the first on the fourth-year guard out of Arkansas. And the first against the Thunder here in the first quarter.
Well, Gafford can block shots. 13 blocks in the team the Mavs had last game. Chet Holmgren tried to punish him, and Gafford had other ideas. That was insane meeting him up top.
And Mark Daignault, the head coach of the Thunder, very complimentary of the job that Gafford in particular has done in keeping the Thunder away from the rim. Inbound, Dallas has it front court right. Irving with a furious dribble straight away. 7 to shoot, guarded by Joe. Takes one dribble right, backs it out, crossover to his left. At the elbow, floats it up with the left. Off the window, a beautiful shot from Irving. And it's 8-7, Thunder by 1.
It's just counter moves. He wasn't taking no for an answer. Went right, the help was there. He went left, he's got something for him.
From the top of the key, 2 dribbles, Holmgren. He gets into the paint, and we've got a whistle on the floor as he took it to the basket with 8:30 to go here in the first.
So Holmgren's already hit the pick and pop, right? So they respect him out there. They know he can make that shot. Now Gafford's got to get a little closer to him. It makes the drive by a little easier for Chet Holmgren. He's putting pressure on the defense.
Foul is on Daniel Gafford, his first. Inbound to Jalen Williams between the circles, takes a Dort straight left, hesitation dribble, gets to the basket and knocked to the ground as he tried to pass across the lane. 2 defenders coming over, and the foul is on P.J. Washington. And quickly, that's number 2 on Washington for Dallas.
That's
so
big.
Here comes a substitution for Jason Kidd, and it's Derek Lively in, replacing Daniel Gafford.
So Jalen Williams, last game, he got his shot blocked a few times. I figured he would play better this game because he is a little shiftier and craftier than he showed in game 4. You saw the hesitation there. That's what really sprung him, got him to the basket, drew the foul.
First time into the game tonight, off the bench for Josh Green as well, as he spells Washington with the 2 fouls. Joe, left wing, tries a 3, misses wide right. It glances off the rim, and Green watches it bounce out where the baseline meets the sideline. Dallas ball down 8-7. 8:15 to go in the first quarter. This is game 5 of the Western Conference semifinals. The series tied at 2. Irving between the circles, guarded by Williams. Tries to cross it over, momentarily crossed himself up. Leaves it, Jones, the free throw line, 1 dribble, shoots over Holmgren and scores. That's a difficult shot to make.
But that's the in-between game you need with these 2 rim-protecting teams.
Dallas now with a 9-8 lead. Joe, right elbow, fadeaway jumper, off back rim, no. Doncic comes down with the rebound. Luka dribbling up the floor. 1 of 2 from the field tonight. Leaves it to Green in the corner, gets it back in the left angle. 2 dribbles, pulls up, shoots, and hits. Contested jumper against Jalen Williams. Off balance, but Doncic makes it look easy, and the Mavericks by 3, 11-8.
He was looking for the foul like he always does, but it didn't disrupt his concentration.
All part of the game. Gilgeous-Alexander driving right side of the lane, turned away Lively. Shot takes the big man out of the way, floats it, misses it wide right. Rebound to Dort, gives it to SGA, drives again, tries to pass out from the paint and gets called for a travel. There was a turnover coming either way. The travel might have been the better call there. That didn't lead to a breakout for the Mavericks.
SGA is having to work hard to score. They made him give it up a bunch, and you saw the pump fake there, which is what both teams might have to throw at these rim protectors to try to get it up and in at the rim, but they're collapsing on him, making him kick it out.
It was an 8-2 lead for the Thunder. The Mavericks have responded with 9 unanswered to take an 11-8 lead here with 7:15 to go in the first quarter. A momentary delay as Lou Dort ties his bumblebee-looking sneakers.
Kevin Scott's going to give him time.
And Doncic now inbounds to Irving. Those two have been held well under their scoring average. 60 points combined during the regular season. Here in this series, just 37. Doncic just got away with a double dribble or a carry. He whips a pass to the far corner off of Green's hands and out of bounds.
See, that's one where Luka could have shot that one at the rim. As a stagger screen, he had to step. The help defender was coming, but he could have went ahead and challenged at the rim.
Hard dribble for Jalen Williams into the front court left, guarded by Green. One number 8 against another. Got it at the left angle, 10 on the timer, 6:50 first quarter. Thunder down 3. Williams left of the lane, fade away, takes a high bounce off the iron and drops through the cylinder. And it's 11-10, Mavericks by 1.
They got stagnant, but they have guys that can go ISO. Jalen Williams is one of them.
Doncic, top of the key, takes a left-handed dribble to the arc against Gilgeous-Alexander. Gets to the free throw line. Kick it right angle. Jones, wide open 3. Yes! And it's 14-10, Dallas.
Again, 2 defenders came late there to Luka. He gave it up. Derrick Jones Jr. was ready to shoot it.
Second time tonight that a Dallas player has had a wide open triple here in the game's first 6 minutes. Gilgeous-Alexander guarded by Lively. Crosses him over into the lane. Left-handed pass, right side. Free throw line extended. Dort for 3. And the answer comes quickly from distance for Oklahoma City. 14-13 as Dort has his first 3.
Right now, both teams just playing out of double teams.
Irving gets doubled, leaves it for Green in the lane, goes up and gets fouled. Joe and Holmgren there in the vicinity. And that brings us to our first timeout on the floor of the night. 5:56 to go here in the first quarter. Dallas 14, Oklahoma City 13. You're listening to the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend. Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production. Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week, Marcus and his son Chris react to NBA headlines and start to look ahead to the Bucks offseason. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
The biggest names in the basketball world.
Dame Dollar Lillard.
Having fun and honest conversations.
He puts it in the shoe, right? And sets the tone for brothers and sisters and family.
Every week, Thanasis Adetokounmpo sits down with special guests on Thanalysis Show. Presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel.
Fantastic.
Find Thanalysis Show on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And on YouTube by searching Thanalysis Show.
Listen to Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin on 100.5 ESPN.
I didn't think he was going to say Lenny from the blogosphere said that they might trade Kenny Clark. Now, if he said Fred from the front office said, well, if somebody blows us away, Kenny Clark might be available, then I'm intrigued.
Wilde and Tausch, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by Hallman Lindsay Paints, Coors Light, Made to Chill, and American Family Insurance. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Kevin Richard with you in our Granger studio. Don't forget to log on to our social media accounts at NBA on ESPN Radio to vote in the AutoZone In the Zone poll question. Who's going to get in the zone for tonight's matchup? Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, or Chet Holmgren? In the Zone brought to you by AutoZone. Free battery charging and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone. They've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Back to Mike Cousins and Kalena Azubuike at Paycom Center.
Thank you, Kevin. We've got a one-point game, 14-13. Dallas in the lead, 5:56 to go here in the first. Derrick Jones Jr., the leading scorer for the Mavericks with 8. He's 2 of 2 from distance. And all 5 starters have scored for Oklahoma City. Nobody with more than 3.
Yeah, they're sending a lot of pressure to SGA. And likewise, OKC sending a lot of pressure to Luka. And Kyrie Irving like we thought, but it could be a battle of the others. Is it going to be Derek Jones Jr.'s night? One thing to keep an eye on, the Thunder have 3 offensive rebounds. No second chance points yet, but if they can continue to do that and get some extra opportunities in a defensive battle, that could be big tonight.
Thunder go to the bench as they play defense on the right end. Dallas works the ball around the outside. As for the first time tonight, Aaron Wiggins is into the game. Another three-point threat. Doncic left wing. 3 good for Luka Doncic. He fades away. And so far tonight, again, we'll monitor this as the night goes along. He's moving well. The right knee, the left ankle have both been bothering him, but we saw him walking pregame in the hallway, and here so far on the floor, he's looked good.
He looks good to me.
On the right angle, Gilgeous-Alexander draws 3 defenders at the right elbow. They work it around the edge. Wiggins trying to drive on Doncic, who stays in front. Wiggins spins, whips it to the far side corner. 3 is up, halfway down and out. No good for Jalen Williams, the second-year forward out of Arkansas. Irving drives to the basket, kick it right side corner. Green, 3 long. Lively swipes down at it, bounces it out for Doncic, almost to the hash mark on the far side. Doncic top of the key on the dribble, and he gets fouled by Gilgeous-Alexander. And then Doncic with a smile pats him on the back.
Well, you mentioned the hash mark. The funny thing is, he pump fake from there, and you know he can make it, so you have to respect it. That kind of helped him get inside a little bit. Right now, all the role players have to stay aggressive and ready to shoot, and a lot of them have been, but you expect all the defenders to be focused on the big-time players. Guys got to be ready to attack.
Foul on Gilgeous-Alexander, his first, team's third here in the first. Ball knocked out of bounds on the far sideline by Wiggins, with Green looking to lob it to the short corner for Doncic. So now Luka will get it in the corner, guarded by Dort.
That time Wiggins went early and anticipated. Sometimes Green can just drive it.
Doncic off the inbound, fires a deep 3, no good. Lively source for the offensive rebound, has it poked away. Up the other way, Dort off the feed, rises and jams with 2. Dallas 17, Oklahoma City 15. Dort, Oklahoma City's leading scorer with 5.
And again, the Thunder are saying the more we can get out in the fast break and transition, the better, but it comes after stops like that one.
Jones, top of the key, dribble handoff to Doncic. Dort with him there every step of the way. Doncic gets to the block, shoots, and misses the bucket. But he's going to go to the free throw line as now 2 out of the last 2 possessions, rather. Doncic has drawn fouls, and let's see what kind of response Josh Giddey gets as he's going to check into the game, coming off the bench for the first time in 219 games in his career.
And for him, it's just about trying to have an impact on the game, whatever it is you can bring. We're talking about Luka being banged up. If you're banged up going against Lou Dort, you're in for a night of punishment, but you got to remember, Doncic is a full 6'8", he's thick too, and he can dish out some punishment as well, so he's not afraid of that contact.
Doncic hits the first free throw, and Josh Giddey gets a nice round of applause here from the Oklahoma City faithful as he replaces Jalen Williams, he of the starting lineup out of Santa Clara. So second free throw coming for Doncic after the Mavs were absolutely horrendous at the line in game 4, 12 of 23. And the second free throw off the back rim, no good. And the rebound belongs to Wiggins in Oklahoma City. They were 12 of 23 at the line. They lost the game by 4.
Yeah.
You don't boil it down to one thing, but that was a very big one.
I'm sure Luka spent a lot of time in the gym in the off day working on those free throws.
Gilgeous-Alexander at the free throw line. One dribble, spins right, hangs, shoots, and leaves it short off the front rim. Gafford the rebound, and a quick outlet up ahead to Jaden Hardy. 4 minutes to go first quarter. Mavericks by 3. Hardy pulls his way to the lane, shoots and scores over top of Wiggins.
So Hardy can come in the game, and he's saying, I'm a guy that can get penetration. That's valuable.
Giddey brings the ball up the floor, leaves it for Dort right wing. Work it to Williams, top of the key. Kick it left, Wiggins. 2 dribbles. Drops it for Giddey at the left block. Out to Dort, right angle. From beyond the three-point arc, he drives, gives to Giddey, left block, who shoots the bunny and drops it home. So 20-17 Dallas.
Gafford's a rim protector. He's on Giddey. You draw him, make him help. Giddey has to finish. It happened twice there. He finished the second time.
3:25 first quarter. Mavericks by 3 after they were down big in the opening minutes. From the far side corner, three-pointer is off the mark and just a little bit long there for Hardy. Up the floor, SGA, left wing, free throw line extended. Give it to Giddey, free throw line. Out to Williams, swing it right. Dort, shot fake, three-pointer. No, off the back rim. Offensive rebound from Wiggins on the far side. Oklahoma City loses it. Here comes Doncic up the floor, left to right. At the free throw line. Pull up. He lobs. Oh, the left-hand finish from Derek Jones, who elevated like he leapt off a trampoline. And it's Dallas 22, Oklahoma City 17.
Derek Jones went airwalk again. It happens often. But again, it comes from a stop. That was just a lazy pass. It can't happen for the Thunder.
Above the right elbow, Williams out to Dort, left wing. Doncic flies by. Dort, one dribble, three. Off the rim, no. Giddey gets the offensive board, left short corner. Gives it top of the key, three. Williams is good.
Yes.
The offensive rebound, absolutely crucial. And it's 22-20, and a timeout with 2:31 to go in the first.
At some point, they're going to capitalize. They're going to get second chance points. Their effort has been constant on the boards. It's starting to have an impact.
The Mavericks 22 and Oklahoma City 22, 31 first quarter here in Oklahoma City. This is the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app presented by Indeed.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you could use that money towards golf lessons to become a scratch golfer. Progressive cannot guarantee that you will ever become a scratch golfer. Scratch golfers are really, really good. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, and sure, you could put that money towards lessons, but if you can't hit the broadside of a barn and think you're going to become a scratch golfer, you're delusional. Sorry, just telling it like it is. Savings? Maybe. Scratch golfer? Don't hold your breath. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates. Not available in all states. It's universally accepted that golf is hard. Progressive cannot guarantee improved performance on the course.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. A jacuzzi bath system fits in your existing tub space. It's a no-mess installation with an amazing style selection, factory-certified installers, and a limited lifetime warranty. Call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599 right now and get 50% off installations with no interest and no payments for 12 months. Replace that old bathtub today with a walk-in shower for a safer bathing experience. If you have lived in your home for over 15 years, it's time to remodel your bathroom. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599. 800-717-4599.
It's time to toast to the NBA Finals. For two exceptional teams, this time is pressure. Pressure to be perfect. Every play, every minute, perfect.
He's unstoppable.
Another three. Bang!
This is the time stars become legends and dreams become real. The NBA Finals, presented by YouTube TV, begins June 6th on ABC.
I'm Kevin Winter. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Earlier tonight in Boston, it wasn't pretty. The score does not reflect how well the Cavaliers played. Celtics beat Cleveland 113-98. Celtics are on to the Eastern Conference Finals. This now means on Friday night, we're going to bring you coverage of the Knicks-Pacers Game 6 in that series. Tomorrow night, we have Nuggets and Timberwolves Game 6 in that series. Both nights will start 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Mike Cousins, Kalena Azubuike, back to you in OKC.
Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals for the sixth time in 8 years. The Knicks' last trip there, we were worried about the banking system collapsing. It was 2000 for the Knicks. How about sensing a trend in this game? Fourth quarter, game 4, as the Thunder made a furious comeback. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander assisted on or scored 20 of 30 points. And here lately, 11 of 13 early as he's assisted or scored on for OKC.
Well, he's doing it. Luke is out of the game now, but when he's in the game, Thunder have to continue to attack him.
Kyrie Irving on the drive, left side, floats it. It rattles halfway down and out. And here comes Oklahoma City down to 22-20. Gilgeous-Alexander left of the lane, spins, hangs, shoots, and his shot rattles off. A beautiful look there as he shrugs in frustration, coming back down the floor and defends Tim Hardaway Jr.
He shot that one on the way down.
Hardy lobs it, and Gafford absolutely slams it right over Chet Holmgren's head. He did not see that coming. 24-20 Dallas.
So Hardy's coming to the game. He's been a factor here. He's getting into the paint. They're having to collapse on him. He's making the right play.
Holmgren, right angle, pestered by Hardaway. Back to the basket at the right elbow, sends it up top, Gilgeous-Alexander. They switch defensively. It's Hardaway on SGA. 2 dribbles into the paint. And he fades away, shoots and hits. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander now has 4 points. The NBA's second leading scorer this year. Makes it 24-22 Dallas.
When he's in doubt, he goes to that reliable, trusty mid-range, even when the help comes.
Hardy, right of the lane, off of 2 screens. Shoots, it's a back rimmer. Gilgeous-Alexander gets the rebound, comes up the floor. Top of the key, free throw line, spin to the lane, hangs, fires, no. Gafford with the rebound over his head. Nobody's getting up above the 6'10 center for Dallas. Green at the right angle, pass to Gafford, top of the key. With his yellow sneakers, passes right for Irving. Swings it to the corner, Green an open look from 3. Off the back rim and into the hands of Josh Giddey. Great distributor as the 21-year-old comes right to left. Into the lane, righty runner, no. Off the back rim, and the glass no good. 40 seconds first quarter, Mavericks with the ball, a 2-point lead at the right end. Hardaway Jr. from the left angle. Giddey stays in front, long 2, and he shoots it off the top of the backboard. Offensive rebound, Gafford. Bounce to Green at the left block. Gives it up to Hardaway at the left angle. 5 to shoot. He's guarded by Giddey. Puts up a contested 3. That's wide to the right. Couple of ugly shots on that possession. And Oklahoma City's got the final shot of the first quarter.
They want to hold for one. Another low-scoring defensive battle, it's looking like.
Gilgeous-Alexander holds the ball on his left hip as he points with his right. The crowd rises as one. 6 seconds first quarter. Gilgeous-Alexander passes left. Holmgren with a 3, and it's short. Rebound down to Dallas, and that brings us to the end of the first quarter. They got a good look there for Chet Holmgren. The end of one, it's Dallas 24, Oklahoma City 22.
Well, the thing is, they're double teaming and sending a lot of pressure, but you're still getting good contests because guys are ready to rotate. So the threes are tough. Everything is tough.
And the leading scorer in the game, Derrick Jones Jr. of the Mavericks with 10. 24-22, Dallas with the lead here in Game 5 of the Western Conference Semis. This is the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Robert Half research indicates 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. If you have open roles, chances are you're feeling this too. That's why you need Robert Half. Our specialized recruiting professionals engage with our proprietary AI to connect businesses of all sizes with highly skilled talent in finance and accounting, technology, marketing and creative, legal, and administrative and customer support. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
Hey, are you having a hard time dealing with high-interest credit card debt? It's normal, and a SoFi personal loan could help you save thousands by consolidating your DEBT to one low fixed monthly payment. You could get $5,000 to $100,000 as soon as the same day you sign, with no fees required. It only takes 60 seconds to view your rate, and it won't affect your credit score. View your rate at SoFi.com/paid-off. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions at SoFi.com/paid-off. NMLS 696891.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
NBAStore.com, the official online store of the NBA, and the world's largest selection of officially licensed NBA fan gear. With unique designs by Fanatics, Nike, and all the latest styles for every NBA team, plus one-of-a-kind products and authentic collectibles. Shop now and get today's special offer. NBAStore.com, a Fanatics experience.
Kevin Winter inside our Grainger studio. Ben, a good one through the opening quarter. Hardy lobs it, and Gafford absolutely slams it right over Chet Holmgren's head. He did not see that coming. 24-20 Dallas.
So Hardy's coming to the game, and he's been a factor here. He's getting into the paint. They're having to collapse on him. He's making the right play.
Hardy, 2 points, 1 of 3 for the floor. He's got that assist. Dallas once led by 5. Thunder once led by 6. Dallas's lead is 2. As you make the turn of the second quarter, 24-22, as Coletta said, low-scoring affair. Defense-minded once again with Coletta. Here's Mike Cousins to start the second in Oklahoma City.
Thank you, Kevin. It's not surprising because you look back to the last game, Dallas limited Oklahoma City to only 43 points in the first half. How about Derrick Jones Jr.? 10 points, it's a game high right now, and the most in any quarter in his playoff career.
He's playing extremely well. But I mentioned it earlier, if I'm the Thunder, I'm really looking to attack Luka, involve him in the action, make him help, see if he wants to get back out. They did it in that first quarter some. Remember the last part of Game 4 where Holmgren hit that three? That's what happened.
Oklahoma City in dark blue, orange, and yellow. They work offensively on the left end. Holmgren, turnaround jumper from the free throw line, bangs off to the right with great defense there from Tim Hardaway Jr. P.J. Washington back into the game, picked up 2 early fouls in the first quarter, had to sit for a little bit. Doncic with a lob under the basket. Lively's got it, sends it off to the far side corner. 9 on the timer for Dallas. Couple of jab fakes. Irving left of the lane, second marker. Fall away jumper goes for Kyrie Irving. His second basket of the night. He's got 4, and the Dallas lead is 4, 26-22.
He had no choice there. He had to go. The shot clock was running down. He went to work.
Right side free throw line extended. Jalen Williams between the legs dribble, gives to Holmgren top of the key. Passes to his left to Dort, who takes the dribble. Free throw line to the bucket and lays it up with the right. His body was under the basket. His right arm was extended out, flicked it up, and gets Oklahoma City back within 2.
Sometimes you just got to beat your man off the dribble. Lou Dort can do that off the counter moves.
Doncic one step over midcourt of the OKC logo, and Dort with him every step of the way. Takes a screen right, overhead pass, gives it up, gets it back, lobs it, Lively jams it from the right block. Dallas by 4.
And that's what I was talking about with Coach Kidd. The double team happens, Luka gives it up, gets it back. See if that double team wants to stay with you. They didn't, and that created the lob opportunity.
Good job there adjusting by Dallas coming in here to game 5. Winner takes a 3-2 lead. Giddey from the left corner. Flat 3, but it goes for Josh Giddey. How about that?
Again, Luka late getting out, but I don't think he wanted to get out. I think he wanted to give Giddey that shot. He made him pay.
And they have given him that shot throughout the course of this series. Dallas by 1, 28-27. Left side corner, open 3. That goes down. Tim Hardaway Jr. That's the 3rd time now in the game's first 14 minutes where the Mavericks had a wide open 3.
That's immaculate ball movement. You didn't even get a contest there, a closeout.
10 minutes, second quarter. Jalen Williams, top of the key. Lively sags off. Chest pass right, Holmgren, who lobs it back. Straight on triple. And it's off the iron, no good for Jalen Williams. A reliable three-point shooter, 43% during the year, but here in this postseason, it's dropped to 38%. Doncic, top of the key. Kick it left. Hardaway drives baseline. Passes to the opposite corner. Hardaway. Swing it right angle. Doncic. 2 dribbles into the paint. Euro step. Layup. No. It was hit by Holmgren, and they call a goaltending. Holmgren shaking his head no, and it doesn't appear as though there's any inclination to do anything about it from the Oklahoma City bench.
That was interesting. Holmgren is the leading shot blocker in this series and the playoffs, but they're going to give it to Doncic there. That was great ball movement. They're creating some more long closeouts now, awkward closeouts where it's easier for guys to drive and get inside.
Mark Daigneault, the Thunder head coach, didn't even look to his bench to say, hey, should I challenge that?
That was interesting.
9:25 to go here in the second. Mavericks up by 6. 33-27. Dort left angle. Give it to Giddey in the corner. Tries another 3. Off the front rim backboard. Washington leaps for the rebound. Doncic. Lead feed Lively. Oh, my goodness. A 3-quarter court lob from Luka Doncic to Derek Lively. And you will see that on SportsCenter tonight.
And Daigneault immediately takes a timeout. He's saying that cannot happen. They're just beating us down the floor. We're trotting back. Lively can't get behind our defense. That's exactly what Dallas wants to do.
Already the 4th lob dunk of the night for Dallas. Their biggest lead of the game is 8. 35-27. 9:11 to go, second quarter. Timeout, Oklahoma City. You're listening to the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Moms, daughters, sisters, aunts, and friends, Stoughton Health encourages you to remind the women in your life how important they are. All women 40 and older should schedule their annual mammogram. Stoughton Health uses 3D technology for better, earlier breast cancer detection. All mammogram appointments in May will receive a free pink carnation. Stoughton Health accepts over 160 insurances, including Dean and Quartz. To schedule your appointment, call 608-873-2299. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get house.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
A playoff win is what I view success as, or maybe just making the playoffs for Caleb Williams. They put so much talent around him. This is a team that on paper should be much better than their 7-10 mark that they had last year. Despite the division being tough, I look at Caleb Williams and I think if he can lead the Chicago Bears to the playoffs, we're going to view this season as a success.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekdays from 5 to 9 on 100.5 ESPN. Gold medalist Matt Hamilton, judgmental Jim Rutledge, and Hamilton.
Kind of boo on the Caleb Williams hope, though.
Well,
I don't know.
He's coming for you. He's going to be better than Jordan Love. I hope they're both good, but I think Caleb's going to be better.
Can't wait for the text to start rolling in. Like, get this Bear fan off our radio. This is why I'm the most loved guy on the show. Because absence makes the heart grow fonder, and Jim's a Bears fan.
Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. Weekdays 4 to 6 on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
I'm Kevin Winter. Earlier tonight,
Celtics by 11. Tatum steps to his left. Quick three. Got it.
Cleveland.
A 13-2 run. Timeout, J.B. Bickerstaff. 6 minutes, 44 seconds to go in Game 5. Boston 101, Cleveland 87.
Sean Grandy, Cedric Maxwell, 98.5 The Sports Hub. A reminder from here on out, with Boston advancing to the conference finals, we have every game of the conference finals with the NBA playoffs here on ESPN Radio. We start, well, we still don't know when we start. It's going to be soon. Mike Cousins, Kalena Azubuike, back to you.
We wait, Kevin, we wait. And I do have to admit a bit of mascot ignorance here. A Chewbacca-looking mascot just hit an over-the-head reverse half-court shot off the backboard.
That's back to the basket game.
I am just as impressed as I am watching Luka Doncic throw a three-quarter court lob to Derek Lively. 9 minutes to go here before the half, and the Mavericks lead by 8, their largest lead of the night, as they try and take a 3-2 series lead. 7 on the timer. Holmgren has it knocked loose by Doncic. Now down to 4. Top of the key. Jalen Williams dribbles to the free throw line. Puts it up. No, it was off the backboard. Did not touch rim. And so a shot clock violation. And Mark Daignault having a conversation with one of the officials about the result of that play. I don't know if it was a foul or the ball touched the rim or what it was.
That was a great defensive possession. You had Holmgren guarded by Luka. Maybe get him in the post. Thunder have to think about their shot selection. They're kind of letting him off the hook. Jalen Williams shot that three over Lively not too long ago. You're letting guys off the hook.
Mavs have now scored 7 unanswered in the last 90 seconds. From the left corner, 3 is up and halfway down and out for P.J. Washington. Left block rebound. Williams lobs ahead. Holmgren on the run. Kick it right wing. Giddey. Touch pass to the corner. Dort shot fakes Doncic. Drives to the basket. Goes up. And it's knocked out of bounds. He had a case for a foul there against P.J. Washington. Instead, it remains Thunder ball. Baseline out of bounds. A couple of substitutions. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is in. So is Isaiah Joe as Josh Giddey and Jalen Williams go to the bench to our left.
The thing that helps with the Mavs perimeter defense, Luka jumped on that shot fake, but he's so confident because you got Lively and others back there to block shots, and Lively was there for him.
Certainly makes life a little bit easier.
Man.
Hardaway to the bench for Dallas. Derek Jones returns. He remains the game's high scorer along with Doncic. They each have 10. Inbound to Joe in the left corner. He gives it to Holmgren, left angle. A dribble handoff. Gilgeous-Alexander curls into the lane on the dribble, leaves his feet, gives it to Dort, right angle. 2 dribbles, speedy into the lane, and the ball knocked away. Dort had a case for a foul.
Lively got him again. Same exact thing.
Mavericks on the run, left to right. Irving gives to Lively, left block. A wobbly pass goes to Jones in the left corner, who hands it off to Irving. 10 to shoot. Irving 3. Yes! Kyrie Irving has 7 points, and the Mavericks continue their run. 10 unanswered now. They're up by 11, 38-27.
Danger time here for the Thunder. You can hear it in the crowd. There's an ominous feel.
Gilgeous-Alexander on the dribble, falls to the ground at the left elbow as Lively ran into him. That's the first on the Mavericks backup center.
That's smart because you got Lively on the perimeter. Yeah, he is lively. He can move his feet, but make him guard. At least try to drive him, get inside, make something happen. And that's smart from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. As you see the Mavs kind of getting a little separation here. Stop the game, see if you can draw a foul. Get this game back under control.
Kyrie Irving gets a breather as Jaden Hardy returns. Only played about 13 minutes a game during the regular season, but a regular off the bench. He's already played 5 here in the first half. 7:40 to go before halftime. Gilgeous-Alexander, an attempted lob into the bucket for Holmgren, gets tipped away. Mavs on the run left to right. Doncic streaking to the basket, lays it up with contact and scores. Luka Doncic with a game-high 12 points. 7:29 to go here in the second quarter. The Mavericks by 13.
They're getting fast break points, but again, it's the defense. Lively broke up a mistake there just with his high-intensity ball pressure.
Gilgeous-Alexander, only 4 points so far for the second leading scorer during the regular season in the NBA. He's got it, high left angle, dribbles left, gives to Holmgren in the lane against 2 defenders. Lefty layup doesn't fall. He does, though, underneath the basket, laying on his back just to the left of the blue basket stanchion. And it's 2 free throws coming after the foul on Derek Jones.
And 2 defenders stay with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He made the right play.
What a confusing time for us. 2 substitutions coming for Oklahoma City. And they're both named Jalen Williams. Sitting on the scores table just to our right, Jalen Williams, number 6 in his second year out of Arkansas. Jalen Williams, number 8 in his second year out of Santa Clara.
I think they call the Santa Clara one J-Dub.
That's correct. And the other J-Will. Here comes the first free throw from Holmgren at the left side. And he puts it in.
But both of these Jalen Williams, they're both old souls. You listen to them talk, especially the one from Santa Clara. They think he's going to be an all-star someday. I believe he's probably going to play better than he did last game, this game. But, and Chet Holmgren, all these guys, such a wonderful young core here. And they all got to worry about their careers, but they know the main thing is playing together and finding a way to win games. They've done that all season. Mark Dagnall's got them all bought in.
Second free throw rattles through for Holmgren. He's got 5, and it's 40-29 at Dallas. Oklahoma City getting here to the second round after a 4-game sweep against New Orleans first round. Doncic from the right side throws it over his shoulder all the way to the left wing, and it's Hardy driving to the basket off of the feed from Washington. His layup comes up just short, and it's Jalen Williams, J-Dub, up the floor from right to left. Test pass left, Gilgeous-Alexander off a screen, gets into the paint, kicks it back, Jalen Williams out of Arkansas. Give it left wing, Holmgren. One dribble, hesitation, into the paint, floats it up, off the back iron, bounces right side, and falls through. Last 4 Oklahoma City points from Chet Holmgren. It's Dallas 40, Oklahoma City 31. 6:30 to go in the first half.
Now, Holmgren's gotten active here. A little Euro step action.
Doncic left block, shot fake, passes top of the key. Jones on the drive, hangs, shoots, and the basket does go, but they wave it off. They say a foul is on the floor as there are 1, 2, 3 players all laying on the ground. 2 of them for Dallas, and Holmgren is helped up by Cason Wallace.
Well, I believe it was Gafford and Jalen Williams from Arkansas. They called it on Jalen Williams.
It was a human bowling pin situation under the right side basket.
Man, this game is not for the faint of heart. There is some contact happening, collisions all over the place, monster human beings flying around. You got to be ready to bang in this game.
Holmgren to the bench. And this is a small lineup out there right now for Oklahoma City. 10 on the timer as Dallas gets it in. Doncic left side free throw line extended. Williams shading him baseline. Doncic one dribble, step back 3. Off the back rim, rebound Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Can Oklahoma City match the pace of Dallas? Push the offense down the floor right to left. Thunder with the ball down by 9. Gilgeous-Alexander guarded by Gafford on the edge. Blows right by the center, gets to the left side, floats up and scores as he falls to his bottom of the left block. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 6, and the Thunder are within 7.
Yeah, that's the idea. The Thunder have to make the bigs pay for guarding on the perimeter.
Doncic with a lob, and it was Jones coming from the right corner as if it was a telekinetic play. 42-33 Dallas.
It's C-man, C-ball. His defender just lost sight of him.
From the right corner, one dribble, Cason Wallace, long 2, no good. And the rebound belongs to Dallas. It's Washington coming up the floor. Their leading scorer the last 3 games. He is scoreless in 10 minutes tonight. And that's a good sign for Dallas if he's not scoring and they're still leading by 9. Backing his way down right elbow, turns into the lane, gets double, whips it to the corner. Jones 3, pure.
See, P.J. Washington drew 2 defenders, and that meant that defender on the weak side was going to have to get in, open up the 3-ball.
Almost every time at the right end when Dallas has been doubled, whoever's got the ball has seemingly made the right decision. Isaiah Joe from the left angle, 2 dribbles in, kick it, corner. Williams off on the 3 for the second-year forward out of Arkansas. Dallas 45, Oklahoma City 33. 4 minutes, 45 seconds left in the first half. Winner tonight takes a 3-2 series lead. And in NBA history, you go up 3-2, you're a winner 82% of the time. Lob to the rim, knocked away by Gilgeous-Alexander. It's Joe up the floor. Left wing triple is up and wide right. Luka Doncic the board. He looks to run from left to right. Mavericks by 12. Doncic with 12 points. Jones a game-high 13. From the right corner, a Hardy three is short. He saw it. Races in to try and get the rebound, but he's boxed out by Gilgeous-Alexander. 6 points in 16 minutes for SGA. Step back three, right angle, high arcer, off the back iron and off to the left. Not a good look there from Gilgeous-Alexander, and Jason Kidd calls a Dallas timeout.
Well, the Thunder are trying to keep in contact with the Mavs, but they're just not shooting it well, and their shot selection isn't great. They're trying to keep the Mavs to one possession, one shot, but at some point you got to convert on the other end.
This Western Conference semifinals tied 2 games apiece, but here in Game 5, it's the Mavericks 45 and the Thunder 33 with 4:07 left in the second quarter. This is the NBA playoffs on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Sorry, but we actually